Welcome back to the National Stadium in St. George's for the match number 14 in the NLA GPL T20. It's sort of a David versus Goliath matchup. St. John, who is at the bottom of the table, coming up against St. Patrick's, who lies in the third spot. But they are a fortified team with the inclusion of a number of veteran players and players who return from Windward Island duties. So it's really a David versus Goliath battle, orange versus green in match number 14 of the NLA GPL T20. We're just going to have a late start to this match as a result of the overtime which was endured in the first match. So we're just going to be starting at 20 to the hour of 2 o'clock. We're just going to take the opportunity to go down to the toss, which was held earlier on, and then we're going to come back and preview the teams as we get ready for the start of this encounter. Welcome to the toss for match number 14 in the NLA GPL T20. It is St. Patrick versus St. John. We have the captains here in the middle, Darren Hippolyte from St. Patrick, Anthony Antoine from St. John, and joining us as being the regular, Andy Noel, the first vice president of the tournament. He's serving as match referee. He will hand over the coin to Anthony Antoine, the home captain for today's match, who will toss. The call is a head. It's a tail. St. John have won the toss. Tony, what's the decision for St. John?
Yeah, well, definitely we're going to have a bat first today again.
All right, it's a final game for St. John in the tournament. What are the guys looking forward to today?
Well, as much as we come in for victory and have fun, play well, and that's basically what we're coming to do.
All right, so final matches, any changes to the squad for today?
Yes, we have Granger out and we have Ronick Holder coming in.
All right, so total in mind batting first?
We're looking at maybe 130, minimum 130.
All right, so Tony, all the best to you guys today.
Yeah, all right, thanks. Take care, man.
All right, Darren Hippolyte, being asked to bowl first, would have done the same thing had you won?
Yeah, we would have won the toss and bowl as well, so it makes the sense. Yeah.
All right, St. Patrick's, they seem to be hitting their strides. Now 2 wins and 2 losses in 4 matches. What are you looking forward to in this match?
Well, this match is a match again for guys who don't go there and just back themselves to boost their confidence for the knockout stages.
All right, in terms of changes to the squad, any changes? I see you're back in the squad today. Are there any changes to the squad?
There is just one thing, just me coming in.
All right, so being bowling first, very good experience and disciplined bowling lineup. Attack, what sort of total you have in mind you want to restrict St. John's to?
Well, you can restrict them at least under 90 runs as possible. 90, yeah.
All right, so that was Darren Hippolyte, the captain. We want to say once again, all the best at today's match and the rest of the tournament.
Thanks.
All right, so the news from the military cap, St. John, they've won the toss and they decided to bat. All right, so we're back up in the comments box. We're going to preview the team for the starting 11 for St. John today. Rondi Morris, Anthony Antoine, Oski Barry, Alec Blackett, Ronick Holder, Alvin Romnott, Isaiah Simon, Jonathan Taylor, Stephen Francis, Wayne Williams, and Larry Edward. It's a team that has some quality in it, likes of Larry Edward, Windward's Volcano player, coming in for the last 2 matches. His third match, I'm looking to add a little bit of steel to both the batting and the bowling. And we also have the likes of Jonathan Taylor, Isaiah Simon, Oski Barry, a number of good players there, but I think it's all about putting the different facets of the game together. Pastor Woman putting on a good performance from St. John.
Yeah, absolutely. They would want to do something rather special, St. John. And St. Patrick, of course, would have other things up their sleeve. Iman Alexander, Alec Athanase, Wavell Benjamin, Denroy Charles, Kieran Charles, Michael Fraser, Dennis George, Devani Joseph, Darren Hippolyte, Marlon Henry, and Dennis Smith. So there is, in fact, Devon Smith not on, but Dennis, of course, behind the stumps. But it is a good lineup, a rather balanced lineup, and their experience also there. Dennis Smith is there, Marlon Henry, a little heavier than he was yesteryear, but still rather experienced. Dennis George, of course, who has played very well in the tournament and hasn't seemed to have lost anything at all. He's still alert as a monkey in the field. And his bowling has been on target. He's picked up wickets also. It'll be good, of course, also to see Alec Athanase, who is an enterprising young player and someone that we could look forward to for future good performances. This should be, Kerry, a pretty good encounter here this afternoon.
Yeah, In the introduction, I did say it was a David Goliath battle, but we know with the cricket, 22 yards, 11 players, one ball and two batsmen, sometime in the middle there. That is really what the equation is about. And sometimes matches like that, you put form out to the table and you just play it on its merit. Today, it's T20 cricket. Could be just one or two outstanding performances, and St. John, they find themselves contending for the match. So anything is possible in the glorious game of cricket.
Yeah, and when you get down to the shortest version officially, which of course is T20, you understand that you just got to get things right as quickly as possible. It's not like the 50 over encounter or the first class match where you can redeem yourself and where you can just go back to the drawing board a bit. In 2020 cricket, you don't have much going back to the drawing board. You've got to be of precision. You've got to get things right as quickly as possible. Not much time for redemption.
Yeah, and as we see the players, the umpires, they're making their way to the middle. Umpire Holas, he's with Sean Manwaring, and I think one of the interesting things we've picked up from our vantage point is that they're seeing Patrick's for today's match. They're going to have a change in the personnel behind the stumps with the gloves. It looks like young Devonny Joseph, the under-19 talent from the parish of St. Patrick, will have the duties of wicket-keeping today, and it's certainly an encouraging prospect, and we look forward to see his performance behind the stump. He's one of those players that is sort of shortlisted and earmarked for the under-19 World Cup in the year 2022. So it's certainly encouraging to see he has the gloves today to keep wicket for St. Patrick.
That augurs very well for the young man, and that's good also when you have older players who would sort of blood the younger players, give them a feel of what it's like out there in the middle, and Devani will have a fantastic opportunity to do good work, good glove work behind the stumps. It's also very nice to know that cricket is going to be big in the Caribbean here in the next couple of years, when the ICC Under-19 tournament would be held. Of course, there'll be territories that will be vying to host these games. We don't know. We have a short time to know what's going to happen and where the matches are going to be spread and in which territory. That is going to cause a lot of interest, I dare say. But it's going to be a big spectacle, and by that time we hope that the pandemic would be under global control sufficiently so that people can come out and witness the match and encourage the young and uprising stars of tomorrow.
Yeah, and just one more note on that, on the 19 World Cup in 2022, I think I saw a release either yesterday or the day before from Cricket West Indies, inviting territories to make bids for who wants to host matches in the tournament. As we know, it's an important tournament on the global calendar, and to have some of the up and coming, the rising stars in the world game gracing the shows in the Caribbean is certainly a big deal, and all islands will be vying to host some of packages of matches in that tournament. So we being Grenadians, we hoping too that we in that discussion, the facilities are top class, and the other auxiliary that goes with hosting such a tournament, I think we have it in Grenada. So it's just we wait to see whether or not we'll be in that discussion to host matches in the year 2022.
In addition to that, Kerry, it can in fact inject $10 million into the local economy, and for a time when it's very much needed. I think country's going to vie very hard to get that.
Almost certainly, as we see the batsmen from St. Mark there in the middle. St. John in the middle, my apologies. It looks like we're going to have a new pair for St. John. It looks like it's going to be Alex Blackett. And I wait to see if that is Ramnot or Anthony Antoine with number 5 on his back. As Emon Joseph, the evergreen bowler from St. Patrick, will begin from the northern or Dabo end of the ground.
And immediately off the mark.
Yeah, batting has certainly been one of those, been one of the difficult components of the game for St. John. I think the highest total in the tournament is just maybe about 77, when they were 77 for 7 against St. George's. So they've certainly struggled with the bat, but with the inclusion of Larry Edward and more matches and more games under the belt, I'm sure they'll be looking to put up a much better performance in this final match.
Yeah, it's just a pity they never really looked as though they would get anything mammoth, nothing really impressive. So that's something that Parish would have to look at, developing their batting ability.
As that one is hit powerfully down the ground, but Wavell Benjamin, who is stationed on the long off boundary, he comes around and does a fielding, so 1 run. So both batsmen there off the mark, 1 to Ramnot and 1 to Blackett.
I think they'll be disappointed, and listeners and onlookers would be, and viewers would be disappointed if they don't get a big total today, or at least a moderate one, nothing small.
Yeah, reminding you they've won the toss and they've decided to bat, so it certainly seems to be confident in their batting skills. As Devonnie Joseph collects smartly behind the stumps there, and the youngster in the action quite early. Oh, that appeal for stump, and he goes! Good work there from Devonnie Joseph. Alex Blackett, the ball thrown up to him, looking to hit powerfully down the ground, as we would see momentarily the replay. Missed, just foot momentarily left the crease, and smart a bit of glove work there from the under 19 prospect.
Very good work. He was confident, but from the time he picked the bails off. Let's look at it here. No, he missed everything. I love the way he took it. He took it because he was jumping. The ball did bounce. Not a great sense of turn, but it bounced. And he had the frame of mind to take it, lower the left hand, and clip the bails off the wood. That was a marvelous piece of work behind the stumps. Well done.
Yeah, excellent stuff there from the youngster Devonnie Joseph. And I think if he's also a Smith, because I think if my information is correct, he's either a nephew to Devon Smith or a cousin. So I remember previous tournament he was actually using his surname Smith. So they had Dennis Smith, Devonnie Smith, and Devon Smith representing St. Patrick's in the same team. And not to be outdone, a few years ago you'd have had Daniel Smith, one of the brothers to Devon Smith. So the Smith family, certainly their mark is being felt in the cricket in St. Patrick.
Right.
St. Patrick.
It's a Smithish thing.
As we see Stephen Francis, the new batsman, makes his way to the middle. Bit of flamboyant character with his shirt out of his pants, swinging his bat from side to side to get those arms, muscles a bit loosened. And I can tell you, Pastor Worm, Stephen Francis, he knows how to bat in only 5th gear.
Well, you want somebody who can do something like that in this team, really. Oh, he dropped it. That was the first delivery he faced, and he went cross-battedly at it, hit it hard. Alexander was hurling himself in spectacular fashion to his right to take the return catch. We probably will get a replay on that. Did he get a nick?
No, I think he probably would have bushed through those hands because the ball came back to him with such ferocity that before he was able to get his hands across, the ball was through him. And I think, when people look at those replays, those of us in the comfort of the commentary box will say, it's a drop catch. But Pastor Worm, I can tell you, that one was coming back with some venom on it.
You're right. I played this game already for a number of years, and some can be real hand scorchers.
As we see, it's going to be twin spin for St. Patrick. It's going to be Alec Athanaze, the Dominican off-break bowler. He will take up proceedings as he had done in the previous encounter. He will be bowling to that is Ramnot, who is on 1.
Raps on the pad. There's an appeal for leg before. Give it now. Gone. Leg before. Innocuous delivery, came forward almost like a nothing shot. The appeal went up. The umpire says that's out. And maybe just remonstrating a little bit there, as if to say that I played the ball. But don't forget, Ramnot, the spirit of the game. You should not be there showing dissent.
Yeah.
That's not good cricket at all.
As he turns and makes his way back into the pavilion as we await the replay. Maybe he's going to replay a second time.
Not good. Not good. Let's look at it.
Oh,
No.
it's hard to pick up whether or not there was any bat involved. The batsman was certainly rushed, certainly a bit fast. Well, it was the first delivery ball by Atenes, but he certainly pushed through that one with a bit of pace, would have bit the bat coming across the delivery. So from our the replay, it's inconclusive, and we I guess we'll have to defer to the decision of the umpire, the standing umpire.
The thing is, we all have played this game, and there are times when you get some hard out, as we call it. Let's look at it. It's sort of hard to decide whether indeed he got a nick onto that one. It would have been an inside edge if he did. Then began to show disgust. And that's what match referees don't like. They really don't like it. Don't show those sort of behavior. You walk away, but the public display, there was one called Charan Singh that was run out playing in its debut series for the West Indies against England, and there was that famous Queen's Park Oval riot when he was given out, run out, I think it was. Bottles and tins, everything was thrown onto the field.
Yeah, as you see, the new batsman takes his guard. That's Ronnie Morris. He comes in at number 4. And see, one of the things that has been quite obvious is that the St. John's, every game they've played, they certainly seem to have had a different batting lineup each of those matches.
That doesn't always augur good for a team. You want the players, the batsmen, to feel comfortable in the position that they're accustomed to. And sometimes shaking up a batting lineup could really disrupt the overall performance of a team.
A bit of shorter, flatter one there from Atenes. Push the batsman back, who can't beat the fielder in the short extra cover. That seems to be Dennis Smith, who is occupying that position.
They will in fact go for a single, belatedly in terms of the response. The non-striker was off very quickly. So this is a dismal start here by St. John. Lost a couple of wickets rather early.
Yeah, batting first, winning the toss and batting, and you're 3 for 2 in the second over. A dream start actually for St. Patrick.
Imagine it all in starts, you get dismal and dream.
Bit of faster one, another faster one there from Atenes. Francis is flashing, doesn't get any bat onto it. Luckily for Smith, who didn't collect cleanly, there was no bat involved.
Yeah, they just don't seem to have a clue as to what's going on outside there. The over comes to an end, and after 2 overs, it's now 3 for 2. I like the way that Atenes comes in. He has almost a Nathan Lyons sort of approach to the wicket. And the subject of Nathan Lyons, what a outstanding off spinner he's been for Australia over the past it should be about a decade or so now.
Yeah, he's not. When he came onto the scene, he was not heralded as one of those, maybe outstanding off-break bowlers, but he's certainly grown into his game and grown into confidence, and now he's one of the most successful spin bowlers for Australia. I think he's the second leading wicket taker among spinners for Australia, behind the great Shane Warne.
They go to for a very quick single. The return comes in at the non-striker's end. They're going to come back for the second run. They've got to hurry. The return this time going to the keeper's end, and they're quite successful indeed. So they got 2. What should have been just a single turned out to be 2 runs. So we learned that India would have defeated England already.
Yeah, I think when I was last tuned in, I think England was about 6 wickets down and needed to score at almost 20 runs and over.
Big shot in the air. Somebody's going to take the catch. Taken, gone.
Yeah, Morris, soft dismissal there from Morris. That seems to be, is that Denroy Charles in the mid-off position. soft dismissal there from the one of the senior players in the St. John outfit, and the scorecard gets even more dismal for St. John. Third wicket down inside of over number 3.
Yes, never got to the pitch of the ball at all. And that's the key element in batting, or at least one of the key elements in batting. You've got to get to the pitch of the ball. I remember Sir Viv Richards many years ago here having a clinic with some of us younger players. And we had a question and answer situation. And he always felt that once you get to the pitch of the ball, you can do whatever you want with it.
Well, one of the maestros of international and the world game, and I think anything he would advise is certainly correct, because as the master blaster, people would have said he may have been playing across the line, but I think he himself said famously, once you get into the line of the ball, it doesn't mean you're playing across the line, you're playing through it. So certainly one of the greats, not only in the West Indies but in the international game of cricket.
He once told me that if you hit the ball on the ground, you can't get caught, but if you hit it in the air, it can travel faster.
And who are you to doubt that great wisdom from the great man, Sir Isaac Vivian Richards?
Wonderful man. I had the opportunity and distinction of doing cricket commentary with him on several occasions. Very witty and very humble.
Yeah. Unfortunately for my generation, we'd not have seen much of him, but I think the only time I've seen him bat in person, it was been one of those Masters game against the visiting English Masters, maybe about 10 or 12 years ago, as we see Alexander to an almighty heave there from Francis. That one may get in a portion of the bat down to that is Fraser coming off the boundary on the leg side to do the fielding, and Pastor Worm.
That was an old-fashioned slog.
I was trying not to use the word slog and describe it in a bit more pleasing manner, but as you summarized it quite well, it was an old-fashioned slog.
You're too modest, Gary.
I think a couple of the players that I've met them and they said, we're listening to the comments, and I think you guys are a bit harsh on, also, just to appease some of those concerns, you're trying to soften the tone a bit, but sometimes there is no better description than using the actual facts before you.
Well, it is in fact a legal cricket language, so to speak, a word, slog. Larry Edwards facing up for the first time.
Yeah, that's it. Going to be a lot of pressure on Larry. If St. John is to get anything, any score total respectable on the board, he would be required to bat maybe all the remaining overs. Still, 17 overs left after this.
And they'll be advised, in fact, to bat right through the innings. That's significant. Got a single there, the ball tucked up to mid-wicket as Dennis George came around to his left, rather quickly covered ground about 15 to 20 yards to his left, beg your pardon, and the batsman had time to cross for 1.
Yeah, it has. We keep mentioning before, the batting has certainly been a struggle for St. John. In their first match, they made 72 in 17.3 overs against St. Andrew. So it started bad and it just continued getting worse and worse for the men in orange from the west coast of Grenada.
Yeah, so the west coast hasn't been doing particularly well, Kerry. Both St. Mark and St. John's. So they realize that come next year, God's willing, they'll have to come much stronger, much more disciplined. They probably need to work on their cricket in the off season. Well, they're hardly in the off season these days in cricket.
Yeah, you play cricket throughout the year right now, right? And especially with conditions here at the National Stadium where you can have 2 hours of rain, and after the last drop of rain falls here, within maybe 10-15 minutes you can start the action. So cricket is now, as you would say, in years gone by, cricket was January to June, July. And the rest of the year is for football, but now that old calendar goes out the window.
Yes, you've got to play right around the year, so it's no longer a seasonal game.
Athenes to start his second over, that there is a Larry Edward facing up, and Larry would certainly not want to be dismissed by his Volcanoes compatriot.
No, don't be surprised if there's some little rivalry between between these two. When you've got those fraternal connections, there could be a lot of talks at each other.
And that one is certainly a bad delivery from Martinez, looking to drag the dung a bit, also a bit flatter. And Edwards, he picked up the line length quite early and got inside of it and hit it over the square position. So 4 runs to Larry Edwards, the first boundary of the inning in over number 4, and St. John there 11 for 3.
Yes, that was a rank long hop, and Edward should have hit that away, and he did that quite nicely too. Just eased onto the back foot and sort of helped it on its way down behind square on the leg side and got 4. It was an easy delivery to put away, and he put it away well. Lot would depend upon him this afternoon.
Yeah, another one a bit, faster. Edwards can beat Dennis Smith, who is lurking in the short mid-wicket position, so he remains on strike. Pastor Wam, as we see another excellent effort in the field there from Dennis Smith. He's good behind the stumps, but he's even looking better close in on the either offside or onside.
That was a great save, really was. He was travelling to his right and knocked it down. Would have gotten a single had it gone past him. No, so he's going to go from round the wicket now.
And it's good to see that one was a bit slower. And our spinners in the Caribbean, as you would have seen evident from the most recent limited over matches against Sri Lanka, we tend to bowl it a bit faster and flatter as 4 overs comes to an end. And St. John now 11 for 3. Stephen Francis is 1, and the St. Lucian Windward Volcano player Larry Edward, he's on 5. And they would be hoping that they can put together a partnership to help restorate the restoration effort they need to embark on to help St. John post a respectable total, as Eamon Alexander, he's been successful so far today, 2 for 6 of his 2 overs. He also would be in the tournament, he has 5 wickets in total in 18 overs, so he has been bowling quite tight. The wickets may not have been there, as we see a hike from Francis, beats the fielder at choose the square leg region, beats the fielder there who's a short fine leg. So Stephen Francis, he swung many times, but he finally connects on one, Pastor One.
Well, at some point you'll have to connect, or at some point you would miss. That time he connected. Not that it was the prettiest looking shot in the world. Let's look at it again. Big wallop, and he got it down behind square and got 4.
Yeah, I think he will be saying, may not be pleasing on the eye, but at the end of the day, the scorer still has to enter 4 into the scoring system. Yeah. Whether it's beautiful or ugly, it is still 4 runs at the end of the day.
the record attempted stump down the leg side. The record books would never ever say how he got the runs per se, but it would say that he scored, and that's important. Let's look at this delivery from Eamon Alexander. Was looking to hit that down the backwards. Everything fell onto the ground, and there was an appeal for a stumping. Now there is in fact a discussion between the 2 umpires. Can you make what it might be?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, because I think those thumping decisions there, they happen so quickly in the blink of an eye, and oftentimes umpires, they tend to err on the side of caution, and give as they say, cricket, the batsmen normally get the benefit of the doubt. So unsure what the discussion was there about. The bail was removed. Francis, he did fall over, so the question is whether he landed in time or not, and in situation like that where you're unsure, it's always wiser to give the benefit of the doubt to the batsman.
Oh, the other question is whether he did hit wicket. That's the other question that comes into mind.
Yeah, I think probably even though he hit the wicket, I think the stumps was initially broken by Smith. So once the stump is broken, I think anything after that is irrelevant.
Big hit in the air. I think it's going to drop safe. It does. 3 fielders converge and went right in the middle of them, and they will come back for what would be just for the second run. It was airborne for quite some time, and while it was airborne, they took a single, and as it dropped, came back for the second run. Just tells you how long it stayed in the air. This is going to be fun. Trust me.
I think, for the interest of the game, we need Stephen Francis maybe to bat for a few more overs. And this
Caught behind! Has he been dismissed? Caught behind?
Yeah, he's
yes.
given out, caught behind by umpire Holas. And I was just saying now, we hope that Francis, for the entertainment value, can last for a bit longer. But he just fed us a faster one from Iman Alexander, who picks up his 3rd wicket. So St. John, they're 4 down for 17.
4 for 17. That one was faster through the air. It went with the arm, and he was looking maybe just to glide that, open the face of the bat and glide it, and the catch taken. So another wicket has fallen. It's now 17 for 4, and we're in over number 5.
Yeah, the action is certainly moving on fast here at the National Stadium. Less than half the squad down. We're still inside the power play, as the captain, Anthony Antoine, he strides to the middle, hoping that he can be a bit more responsible. He has the challenge of leadership on his shoulders, and he would be certainly looking to stay out there with Larry Edward, as the game has certainly moved at a helter-skelter pace inside of 5 overs.
Yeah, it's hard to really keep up with the barrage of activities going on there with batsmen. Almost a procession now. 4 wickets have already fallen for 17, and at times a couple ugly shots here and there, which has brought maybe a giggle or 2 here and there too. So Antoine has come out. He's got to play a skipper's knock.
Oh, most certainly. And Iman Alexander, certainly on the top of his game. 3 for 12, still inside of his 3rd over, and will be pleased. The interesting thing about cricket, Pastor Wom, he's played previously 4 matches. He picked up 3 wickets for 3 for 69 from 16 overs. And today he's 2.5 overs, 3 for 12.
That's what makes the game of cricket such a lovely sport.
Yeah, he's doubled his total in 1 match.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There are times when everything seems to be going good for you, and there are other times when it becomes quite a task. The over comes to an end, and 5 overs gone is 17 for 4.
And then we still have the leading wicket taker in the tournament, Dennis George. He coming into this match, he's had 13 wickets in 4 prior matches, and at the rate things are progressing, Pastor Wom, he may not have much opportunity to pick up much wickets today.
That looks very much the case, but he has really been spot on. He's bowled very, very well indeed. It doesn't look as though he's lost anything in the passage of time, in the passage of age. Just seem to grow better and better. They say that things like honey, cured, gets better with age. They talk about wine also getting cured and better with age.
It's going to be Athenes, who's going to continue. He's going to bowl his 3rd over, 1 for 5 from his prior 2. Larry Edward faces up.
Edwards would have to play a sensible knock here, because he would want to go right through the innings. Now, he's got to be thinking that for the next 14.5 overs, he's got to be there at the end of the innings. But Athenes has bowled a very good line and length so far. He's into his 3rd over. He's picked up 1 for 5.
Yeah, he's just keeping things quite simple. Just looking to bowl wicket to wicket as he comes around the wicket, and Larry goes for the big heave. Doesn't connect as well, and the ball goes down to the long on position, and he saw that one was thrown up a bit further, and his eyes lit up looking for the big shot.
It tugged it down to, it's a bit of bottom-handedness into the shot. Got it up to long on. But as I was saying a little earlier on, quite a lot depends upon him to steer this St. John team out of the morass of trouble that it has found itself in right now at 18 for 4. Now they still will have to think about getting up to 80 runs. Wrapped on the pad, there's a P for leg before, not given out by the umpire. Ball going out on the offside, and 5 fielders converging onto the ball at the same time. Sun has now come back out quite resplendently. Had a shower a little earlier on, interrupted the first match, but everything has gone pretty well since.
That is Antoine looking to pierce the offside field. The ball from the right-handed Athenes turning back into him from outside the off stump. Probably a missed opportunity to pick up some runs. And this time he connects well. There is no fielder in the short third man or in the gully position. And the ball beats, that is Dennis George, into the boundary for 4. So a bit of a width offered to Anthony Antoine. The second time up he accepts it quite gleefully.
Yeah, got 4 to complete the over. No, 22 for 4. And I was in fact saying a little earlier on, Kerry, that they can't think about getting less than 80 runs in this encounter. That's why these two will have to stay there. Somebody's got to stay right to the end of the innings and bat sensibly and think about taking the innings as deep as possible. Maybe into the 15th, 16th over, and the last 4, then you can go cavalier like. But to see St. John's dismissed maybe for under 60, 70 runs, I think that would be pathetic. At 22 for 4, they've got a lot of work to do over the next 14 overs.
Yeah, Pastor One, but you're hoping for 80, but the stats show they haven't scored 80 yet as a team in the tournament. In game 1 against St. Andrew, they were 72 all out. In their second game against St. George's, they were 60 all out. In their third game against St. Mark's, they were 77 for 7 in 20. And in their fourth game, a rain-affected match, 64 for 3 in 7. As we see Alexander to begin his fourth over. Bowling to that is Larry Edward, the left-handed Edward, push to the offside. So Pastor Warm, 80 might be a tall task for this St. John.
I do agree, but there is an old proverbial saying that says a bad beginning makes a good ending.
The ever hopeful and optimistic Pastor Stevenson Warm. He says that St. Mark's would get over 80 today. So I would hope so too for this, for in terms of the competition of the match. But it will really depend on those two in the middle there, Edward and Antoine, to get them bat as many overs remaining as possible.
You're right. If they're going sequentially, there is no way they're going to get above the 80 odd. But let's hope that's not the case today. And for the good of the game and for competitiveness, it'll be good to see them getting up to that beyond 80 runs. Make it competitive and make it a good fighting contest.
Alexander, to be at the top of his game at the moment. He's bowled 20 deliveries. Of that, 14 deliveries have been dot balls. So when you can have a high, and when they only allow 24 deliveries, and to bowl 14 dot balls on 20 deliveries, certainly he'll be feeling good about his efforts so far.
Wrapped on the pad, there is a P for leg before, give him out, gone. I think the umpire was waiting for him to lift his head. For a moment I did say not given out, but his head was down, and then as he lifted his head, the umpire raised the fatal finger. Let's look at it.
Outside leg.
I don't know, it looks very close to being pitched outside leg. That's what it looks like. And then finally the umpire said that's out.
Yeah, from that replay, looks like we do not have the benefit of the tram lines, but
Yeah.
if you can look at it, normally the umpire heads is in line with the stump. Should have pitch out, probably maybe just on leg, but maybe outside leg stump. And I think I'll go with my original decision that he looks like he probably pitched just outside leg.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Just marginally maybe. But from here, as we saw on the replay, we don't have anything superimposed in terms of tram line. But
Yeah.
let's look at it another time. Let's see where it pitches.
Yeah, definitely outside the line of the leg stump.
Just looks a little like outside the line.
Yeah, normally there was no question that the ball would have gone on to hit the stumps, but once the ball pitches outside the leg stump, shouldn't be given as LBW, but it's a game of cricket and those decisions are involved in it.
We hope that Richie would be able to give us some superimposed tram line in the future. They've done very well. Absolutely. We've got stop bikes and everything there now.
Yeah, I think knowing how Richie operates, he's probably taking note of that, and he'll be saying, Pastor, maybe not this tournament, but the next tournament you may see all those features involved. Certainly top class efforts so far from TNR Communications.
Absolutely.
And we cannot keep praising them for the quality of work they have produced so far for this tournament. As Isaiah Simon stays behind point, not collected cleanly there from Dennis George in the backward point position. However, the batsmen they didn't cross over for a single, so the end of the spell from Iman Alexander, 4 for 13 from 4 overs, and after 7, St. John they're 23 for 5.
23 for 5 after 7. They can't be happy about this at all. And Simon, the little busybody, and I say busybody not in a bad sense, just from the context of he's always bustling, very dapper cricketer. Love to see him down on the sweeper position, covers distance, is very quickly energetic, enjoys his game. So he's out there with Edward now, and they would have to do something special. We've been saying that for most of the morning, how important it is for them to keep the wickets and get a good score. But the manner in which they're going now doesn't look very good at all.
Dennis George. So as we see, it's going to be that Dennis George who will be taking up the action from the southern end. Most of his bowling in the tournament so far, he has in the tournament. He has 13 wickets from 4 matches. Most of his bowling will come from the northern end, but today he starts from the southern end. Played across the line there. Big appeal. Doesn't agree with the appeal umpire, Man Warren.
Yes, I thought it was struck high. That's what we're seeing from here. Now let's look again. We got the benefit of the slow-mo. Yeah. Slightly going down the leg side and probably was still climbing on its way.
Edwards gets inside of the line of that delivery, paddles it behind square on the onside. That is Karen Charles on the long leg boundary. He runs around, does a field in. The batsmen, they've run well, come back for the second. So Edward, he moves on to 9. And St. John, they're 25 for 5 in over number 8.
A little bit of a innovation there by Edward, a little bit uncharacteristic. Got inside and looking to sort of scoop it down to fine leg. They got 2.
Yes, we see a strengthening of the onside field. Captain Deron Hippolyte places himself in that short fine leg position as Isaiah Simon comes scampering back for a single. But he sent back Pastor Wam, the little fella. He was certainly eating up some grass, going back for the second.
I like him because he's enjoying his game. And that's the thing about whatever you do. Whatever you do in life, it's about enjoying it. The people who tend to perform well and who are successful in whatever they do, it has a lot to do with how much you enjoy it. And he enjoys his game. He loves feeling. He's always bustling with energy and life. And he is my favorite St. John cricketer. I like him really.
Yeah, Isaiah Simon, a young lad from the island of Carriacou, who is
Yes.
representing St. John in this
Yes.
tournament. Former national under 15 and under 19 cricketer. And it's certainly it's always good when you have the quality of these players coming into the tournament, adding that little extra flavor and that little extra bit of vibes to the tournament. And we've seen him quick between the wickets, likes to get the scoreboard moving up, sings ones and twos. He's electric in the field, and he's certainly a handy off-spin bowler.
Yeah, he's diminutive and dapper and likable.
Young Simon, I think he comes from the community of Boggles in Carriacou, and I'm sure that there are Carriacouians who are tuned in, looking at the performance of one of their sons. It's unfortunate that we are not able to have the participation of Carriacou Company Matnik in this tournament, but I'm certainly optimistic that normalcy will return by where they can participate in the other tournaments of the GCA, and maybe the next edition of the tournament we can see our colleagues from the sister islands participating at this tournament.
I remember years ago, Kerry, ball goes down to third man. So when I got a nick onto that one, he's going to rush back. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think he got an edge, but Larry was thinking that was the last delivery in the over, so he probably just wanted to reach 10 strike. So he decided to send back Simon to his crease with just 8 overs bowled. I think you need as much runs as possible. Edwards looking to face as much of the deliveries as possible, but I think needs to show a bit more faith in his batting colleagues.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't agree with that at all. I couldn't agree with him not taking the single. I think every run is important, and if you have your player out there, you're telling him, I'm not interested in your single, simply because you want to take the strike, it doesn't help your younger batsman. It really doesn't help at all, because he would feel incompetent. What's the sense? Am I out here batting? I could understand that if you get down to the crunch time, down to the 17th over, that sort of thing. But it's still early. 8 overs gone, 26 for 5. You got to take every run that you can get.
Oh, most certainly. As we see a change of bowling from the northern end, Eamon Alexander's spell comes to an end. That means it's going to be Denroy Charles, who has bowled 15 overs to date in the tournament. He's picked up 6 for 112. Economy rate might be a little bit on the expensive side, going at 7.47, but he comes in a situation where the opposition, they're 26 for 5, and he can certainly come in and bowl with a bit of less pressure and seems if he can pick up 1 or 2 more wickets for his team.
On the leg side, maybe Edward would feel that he should have done a little better with that ball. There's a big gap between that leg gully and the deep mid-wicket, deep backward square rather. Distance of about, maybe about 60 yards.
Yeah, and had he gotten it maybe a couple of meters on either side of that fielder, that is Duran Hippolyte position in the 45, may have gotten picked up some valuable runs for his team.
Cuts down to backward point, that's 4. Outside the off stump shot, rocked on the back foot, did Edwards, and he cut that behind square, and it raced across the boundary for 4. That was a lovely shot. It was short enough, got the treatment it deserved, and welcome boundary for St. John, welcome boundary for Edwards, who's now gone on to 14, and the total has meandered to 30 for 5.
Yeah, the partnership so far is on 7, and that one from Edward, a short delivery from Charles, pulled down to the deep backward square position where Dennis George is stationed on the boundary, does the fielding to send it back in, and he makes his way now inside the circle to his more favorable backward point position as Simon takes strike.
Cuts, well, fine shot. That's going to go all the way. It certainly will. 4 runs. Outside the off stump, rocked onto the back foot. And the little diminutive dapper cricketer just eased onto the back foot and cut it behind square. And he got 4. Lovely. Got right on top of it, Kerry.
Oh yes, certainly. As you see, he just he got tall, short man. He grew some inches there and just guided, sort of guided between the fielder who was in slip and the backward square position. Quite a big gap, as we see. George, the captain Hippolyte, now goes back on the edge of the circle, looking in to shrink that gap behind square for the batsman.
Turn behind square. Very early shout of no. Screaming coming through our stump microphone there by Larry Edward. Over comes to an end. So 9 overs gone. It's now 35 for 5.
Larry, the playing a lone hand so far. He's on 15. He scores 15 of 35 runs to have been scored so far. 15 of 20. As the Simon, he's on 4 not out, and it's going to be, we're going to welcome Raphael Crony, who would have, I assume, would have enjoyed who would have just come from an enjoyable lunch, and he now comes in smiling from from ear to ear into the commentary position. And Crony, how was lunch?
You're certainly right. It's very enjoyable.
Yes, as we see the context of the match, it's quite a struggling position at the moment for St. John. 35 for 5 of 9 overs. They're up against it here at the National Stadium.
Yeah, they certainly up against it, losing 5 wickets. Larry Edwards continue to play well, and you just need a partner, someone to stand up with him. That would cause St. John to put a sort of score on the board that they would feel comfortable with.
Yeah, it's going to be Dennis Sawyer George, the most successful bowler in terms of wickets in the tournament so far. He has 13 wickets, just into his second over in his 5th match, and he has quite a healthy lead in terms of the wicket category. I think it's 4 wickets, as that one rushed Larry Edward a bit, got down on it at the last moment, took the inside edge, where that is Eamon Alexander in the short fine leg position, comes around, does the fielding. So 1 more run to Edward, he moves to 16, and St. John did 36 for 5 in over number 10.
Yeah, and so far Edwards of two matches has scored 61, a high of 34 not out. So he certainly has made a difference with the St. John's team. Batted well against St. David's in that last shortened portion of the game.
Yeah, that one drew the Simon forward and just pinned across him, and I think that one was just a bit too good for the little man from Karaku.
Yeah, good delivery by George. Simon coming on the front foot there, not negotiating well as that ball turned away from him.
Followed up by another good delivery, flighted, drawing the batsman forward, and no addition to the score. So I think, now it's probably survival mode. Survival is the word in the mind of Simon as he looks to negotiate those deliveries from Dennis Sawyer George.
Well, I think it was necessary for St. John's to try to battle the overs. They have a better 10 overs after this one, so they will want to just bat through the overs. And Edwards just needs someone to stay with him, and they would try to.
Outstanding work there from the fielder at the short fine leg position. That is Dennis. They're on Hippolyte, and it's a direct hit. And Larry Edwards goes. He had literally one stump to aim at coming from that position. An excellent fielding there from there on Hippolyte, going through for a quick single, one-handed pickup, underarm throw, and he was quite successful with hitting the wicket directly. As we see the replay, we may probably just get another replay, but from those indications, it looked like he may have just been shot off his ground.
Well, we need to look at it carefully and see what happened here. Where does Edwards bat ground when the ball hit his stump? Let's try and see if we can get it a little closer here. Yes,
he's gone.
Yes,
he's
just
gone.
a shot. A good decision there.
Excellent fielding there from the captain there on Hippolyte. The ball was just turned off the legs of Isaiah Simon, and He sprung onto it and in one swooping motion picked up and he was able to knock down the stump. And oftentimes, Crony, once it's a direct hit, the batsmen normally find themselves on the short end of the crease.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's so difficult to direct hit, and that's why most time when the third umpire being called upon, it's what sometimes seem to be in is just short. Well, a big blow there, the wicket of Edwards, who were looking really good, going by the run-out route, and St. John's now in their trouble at 39 for 6.
Yeah, it's looking earlier on Pastor almost saying maybe 80 they would get up to, but at 39 for 6, as they see in the back of Larry Edward, one delivery short of the 10th over. It is certainly ominous. They're staying down the barrel of another low total. Hoping now survival. It's all about survival now for St. John, as the Oski Barry, he makes his way to the middle.
Yeah, certainly looks as though we have an early finish, even though it's a bit late because of little rain. But it just looks as though we may probably just have a early finish. 36
for 6. As we see the batsman Oski Barry, at the very last moment he pulled out of the delivery, and Dennis George was able to deliver. The ball hit the stumps, but umpire Man Warren, he signaled dead ball. So George will have to start again to deliver delivery number 6 in over number 2, his second over.
Well, just one person that got in the double figures. Larry Edwards run out for 16, and Stephen Francis got 7. Yeah, really. And we see nothing coming from the St. John's batting as they conclude the over number 10, and St. John's, who won the toss today, elected to bat. They are 36 for the loss of 6 wickets, and really from here it really is a uphill task. They would want to first of all bat out the next 10 overs, but certainly by the way things are going, it really doesn't look even likely. St. Patrick's continue to pile on the pressure. The bowling of Dennis George, who would have picked up quite a bit of wickets so far, and he continued to do well. We know Dennis George has, and in some 4 matches, he picked up something 18 wickets.
13 wickets
13 wickets Dennis George in 4 matches, and 72 runs. Really have been good going in 17 overs.
Yeah, as we see, it's going to be Denroy Charles is going to start his second over from the northern end, and Simon comes back and pushes it to the fielder in the backward point position, who is Dennis Smith, and is just going to excuse myself for a moment, and is going to be joining you will be the voice of Justin Hector, one of the members of the St. John unit, and who certainly would not be coming in a pleasing mood seeing his team 36 for 6 in over number 11.
Yeah, good delivery by Charles, as Simon is coming forward again, pushing it into the covers. There's no chance of a run. Denroy Charles in this second over, none for 9, as he's right arm off spin over the wicket to bowl to Simon. Simon again covers up one, coming in and just keeping a bit low. He was equal to the task and push it out on the offside. I say welcome to Justin.
Yeah, Connie. Thank you. And well, the operative was deja vu.
Tough going for St. John's.
It's been that way for throughout the tournament so far. Just haven't been able to get especially the batting together.
Yeah, I think the pleasing thing is to know that they would have competed, played in the tournament. As we know, over the last few years, it has been a struggle with the team of St. John's. It's probably the weakest parish week cricket, and therefore this is a start, and we hope that would be able to build on this.
I think yes, most of the guys on there wrong. I trust that they will stay in the mix, and of course still scouting for new players on the horizon. Yeah. So
You would have worked with some of the guys, Justin, in terms of the players trying to just to make sure that we are able to have a team together to play. How challenging that has
very,
been.
very challenging, especially when you can't, you don't have numbers to work with. Yeah.
And by extension, you speak about numbers, and I don't think it's as issue only in St. John's. Probably it's worse in St. John's, but we look at the other parishes as the over is just the umpires just not taking any chances, just a little sprinkling. And let's see. No, just for one reason, I thought they were looking to have the covers come on. Outside just be a bit cloudy. As we see in the look at the hills, and we see again it's beginning to
dark now with you.
To get dark. But we are hopeful that as was done before, you're going to blow away. No immediate work near the covers. The groundsmen are still out of sight, far from the covers. So this is hopeful for us, as Dennis George pick up the attack from that southern end to bowl to Oscar Barry.
Yes, and I want to hope that these two will just stick around by maybe just bat 20 overs. Even if it's 20 runs, you get out of 20, but at least you try to bat to the end.
Yeah, and that's important. You want to try to battle the overs. I think this is the first task for St. John's, trying to battle the overs. Even though, as you rightly say, push it around and pick up on 1 and 2s, but you want to bat your whole quota of overs.
We in over number 12. Turn on George. A known turn of the ball does get generous turn.
It's not a big turner, but they have been able to extract some turn there. And I think one of the reasons for that is because he's slowing it up. He's not really bowling fast. Just giving the delivery some time to bounce and turn. And so far he has been doing that successfully.
It's a little bit difficult for Barry, who's wrapped on the pad. They're probably just trapping the ball between the bat and the pad as the ball. This one not really turning, just coming on with the arm, just going on with the arm.
Yeah, playing for the leg spinner, and that one went straight on.
There is one now which is struck down the onside, and the batsman go through for a single. So it goes to 37 for 6. And we're in over number 12. Simon is on 4, 1 is Barry.
Yeah, and Justin, just going back to this, you talk about numbers, and we see, as I was saying, not only St. John that have that problem, but we look at St. George's, we look at St. David's in terms of they're among the numbers, they're among the teams that have been involved in the local tournaments, and you cannot get 5 teams in St. George's. St. David's struggling to get 6 teams, and it's a real challenge. St. Mark's, as we know, probably also a few teams. So it's happening all around in terms of the numbers. Times as things has really changed.
Certainly.
In that you're not having the volume of cricketers playing in the various parishes, and that will make it somewhat difficult to be able to get the quality that you are looking for. Basically, you have to work with who you have, and not really getting the quality players to be involved.
Well, even to understand what's going on from even a West Indies level, it's a similar thing, because the nurseries in there, as I say, that pool no longer exists. The gone are the days when the level was that high at all levels, from the grassroots level come right through. And there were times when maybe as cricketers you couldn't even get into teams, and there were so many players in reserve because teams were even refused in some parishes where there were so many teams playing in the parish competition.
Well, it's 37 for 6 at the end of the 12th over. We are beginning, Charles, with the 13th over. This one is pushed down to long on, and Barry pick up an easy single. That's bring the score on to 38, and Barry's personal score is on 3. I make it.
Yeah, so 2
on 2.
So in a sense, you see Barry just pushing one down too long, and that is what probably would have been recommended by the top order. Just stick around, push it around, and maybe if you have wicket in hand, then you could, go hard at the ball later on. But this is very much the idea. Just pick the singles and the twos if they're available, the odd four, whenever you get the opportunity.
Well, Simon just choked this one down to long on, and again ambled another single. Yes, and just to go back to where we at in terms of a development, in terms of the cricketers we have now. Even as you would understand, this pandemic had really hampered us in such a great way. There's nothing in the schools, so even under 15 cricket now is a challenge. Being able to get players, that is a challenge. As this one is turned down to long leg, should have been two there. Kind of not the best of running between the batsmen there, as this one was turned down to long leg by Barry, and they pick up another single. So he takes the score on to 40, and Barry himself now goes on to 3.
Outside the off stump, we probably just made a little bit more height. Maybe just looking to nod it around behind square on the offside and not making contact. So another over has gone, 13. So it was probably call it based on how it started. Probably thought that St. John may have been all out by now.
Yeah, it's 40 for 6 after 13 overs. And going back to the cricket now, because of we does not have any sort of program in the schools now, it's challenging to even come up with the under 15 cricketers. Likewise, the under 19 in a better position, but again, we're going to suffer the mere fact that we are not seeing them playing. There was no Independence Cricket Tournament this time around, no United Insurance Tournament. This is where you see most of your young players coming forward, both at the under 15 and the under 19 level. Now we haven't been able to have this tournament for this probably would be our second year. So certainly in terms of getting players, it will really be more a challenge, and one have to look carefully to see where we are going to get players going forward.
Well, it's so amazing, when you think about it, because when the glory days, when everybody, all cricket sports were being played in all the backyards and all about, you used to see the players, they were always there. Now I think the loss of that, the sport isn't played like it used to. Of course, technology, things have improved as we say, but we're not seeing the result to show that it's better now, or probably the players are better now, or probably whatever they're doing now are producing more. We're not seeing that.
It's 41 for 6. We are in the 14th over as the drizzle comes across the venue once again. We see some movement as the ground staff is getting close to the covers. This one is hit down to backward point. Lovely shot that goes into the boundary for 4. Short delivery bowled by Hippolyte, and it was really given the right treatment by Isaiah Simon. That was to hit it down to backward point and goes down to the boundary for 4.
That's the idea, you stay there, you'll get bad deliveries, you push it around, and certainly that's how you build totals. And I think that's a little thing for the earlier batsmen as to how they should have approached the game.
And that is so important in terms of what the strategy you use, or what technique or the plan, how you're going to do it. This one is hit down to square leg, backward square, and that goes for another short delivery bowled by Hippolyte. So there was one outside the off stump. He hit down to backward point. This one was hit down to backward square, and it went down to the boundary for 4. So two good shots played by Simon. That takes the score on to 49 for 6. In the Simon, second player goes into double figures. He's on 13.
Yes, and played well because the fielder was down behind square. He had to clear him, and he did so quite well. And he's a diminutive man, but 2 good shots. One just outside the off stump, which he appropriately played through backward point, and the one which was straighter, he went over the backward or square boundary. So no risk involved in those strokes really. The risk-free cricket.
Yeah, the first over by Deron Hippolyte completed. He has bowled 1 over for 9 runs. Really have been one of the expensive over. bowled. St. John's winning the toss and batting. They have 49 for 6 with Isaiah Simon on 13 and Oscar Barry on 4. And these two will really want to bat deep into that 20 overs.
9 from here would see St. John pass 100. That would really be an accomplishment, and it will make a game really.
Yeah, and as you say, it's just about playing each ball on the merit, pushing it around. We see the bad delivery is going to come, just like we had 2 in this over, and it was dealt with in the right way. Charles and Barry just looking to turn on the onside. They're taking high up on the left pad, it seems.
Well, one do not expect a certain degree of stroke play from Barry. He's not known to play a lot of strokes. Simon, with this with the way smaller of the two, is a little bit more pugnacious in his approach. And as I said, that Barry went for a big booming drive outside the off stump, but the delivery was a little bit too wide for that.
Yeah, well, I think all he needs just to bring that left foot a little closer to the off stump, and he would have hit that through the cover, because it was tossed up, it was over pitch, and he missed it.
Getting wrapped on the pad. Just slanting down the leg side, one could see Charles bowling wide off the crease and his ball coming back into the right hand and just slanting down the leg side. Once the keeper started also moving to give an indication that it was just slanting down. Some mid conference, maybe just saying to Barry, you need to play it a little straighter. It looked to play a little bit too square, you think, so not making contact with the ball.
Yes, it's good to see that the groundsman is now moving away from the covers. So which means condition really would have improved. To get a chance to look at the hills, probably conditions has improved, but yes, certainly conditions has improved. Seeing a bit of whiteness.
Finally, Barry gets one away. Delivery coming into the pad, missing 3 previous deliveries which had come into the pad. This time getting it out the middle of the bat through the mid wicket area and picking up a single. So the 50 has come up for St. John. Yeah, 50.
15, 89 minutes.
89 minutes, yeah. Caught and bowl. Just like that. Hitting it straight back to the bowler, Charles Simon. A delivery tossed up and looking to probably hit it maybe down through the onside. And he goes, so unfortunately, to see him go, just 113. He's looked good for the time he was there.
Yeah, he looked well, but once again, his lack of movements of the feet, you know, that ball was tossed up. It was really tossed up. Maybe could have been hit on the full toss. But he stood his ground and allowed the ball to drop and then swing to the line. If he stepped forward and he hit the ball on the volley, he certainly would have been more beneficial, probably getting it through the gap. But stood and swing. So we see some basic technical flaws there in terms of how the batsmen are playing. And certainly Simon there really felt it this one. He basically stood up and hit it back to the bowler.
Yeah, so Taylor will replace Simon. And still we're in the 15th over. And one would obviously hope that these two can take it far deeper into the closer to 20 overs. It's a really soft dismissal there by for Simon.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's we've seen a number of these things because of maybe a lack of cricket.
Yeah,
but you know, really, that ball was over pitch, you know, and he just allowed it to drop, and let's hit it straight back. So he's replaced by Jonathan Taylor, known for his fast bowling. St. John's in this 15th over, the end of 15 overs, 50 for 7.
Yeah. And I thought we would have seen still the batsman in the hut. It's only 7 down. It's only 7 down.
Well, we know how funny this game can be, so anything can happen. But they would have felt confident they won the toss, and the wicket toss. The pitch continued to play well, and they had an improved performance against St. David's last Sunday. I would think so. Maybe all of that sort of give them confidence.
Gone for 4. So Barry, bad bit of feeling there backward point. The ball going straight through the legs of who's there. Dennis George, who is there, and now that look like Dennis Smith, who is at backward point. He's not holding the glove today, but a delivery well timed by Oski Barry, and he should have done better really.
Yeah, bad miss by Smith. Again, Hippolyte was short and was asking to be hit, and it was hit down to backward point, and misfield by Smith went down to the boundary for 4.
St. John will welcome those runs as another single just behind square on the onside for Barry. So Barry's on 9 on 10, and it brings Taylor on strike 55 for 7.
Yeah, Barry 10 there, third of the batsman to get into double figures.
He just pushed up to 3.5. And loud shout of no by Barry as Taylor turned one away behind square on the onside, and probably rightfully so too. I don't think Barry would have gotten through for that single.
Yeah, good call by Barry. It was his call.
There is again Taylor turning on the onside. Probably yes, Taylor. Maybe a busy man, but Barry is not as fleet-footed as he is, and might be an easy single for him. Might be a little bit more difficult for Barry. He's a heavy set man, and pulling in the air down behind square on the onside. He's going away towards the boundary, but he won't get there. So just picked up and relayed back, and 2 runs to Taylor. Was looked very busy since he has come to the crease.
Yeah, just trying to help this ball over backward square, and he picked up 2 runs. But, looking busy, looking to push it along.
This times just pushes it up towards extra cover and can't score. So it brings up the end of the 16th over. At the end of it, 57 for 7. Taylor is on 2, Barry is on 10, and St. John just trying to see how much more they can put to that total of 57. Take it as probably as close to 100 if they can.
Well, they have 4 more overs to go, and you'd want to think if they can get maybe 5-6 runs over, you still got at probably 24 with that to make it 81. So they will first of all want to bat all the overs.
Yeah, that's what we would like to see happen. It's for sure if they bat the full quota of 20 overs, they probably would score in the vicinity of 80. And we've seen teams stuttered in chase of small totals so far in the tournament.
Yeah, and this tournament really there have been some very low totals. It's not the sort of runs that we expect, the 150, the 160 and above. But we had scores of 97 and just over 100, 114. So there have been some low scores in the tournament.
So often this game of cricket makes a fool of us in terms of our expectations. We just got to take what is given to us in this game called cricket, game of glorious uncertainties. There is no givens really.
Yeah. We've seen for the first time Charles.
Yeah, and Barry pulling away on the onside and looking to punch it through the offside, but yes, maybe saying maybe more like the shot he should have played. More with a straight bat through the extra cover region. But here is Charles again, and short, and Barry looking to crash it again through the offside, and they will go through for a bye, and rather belatedly, but Taylor calling through Barry for a bye, and 1 more to extra 2 extras, extra move. In fact, that's the first extra. So they have been rather tardy. Unlike some of the games where we've seen extra doing very well for St. John, there is only 1 extra so far by St. Patrick. So 58 for 7. As here is Charles to Tilla. Tilla is bold. Yeah, looking bold leg stump, looking to hike it somewhere on the onside and not making contact. The ball going through bat and pad. And really, nothing short. Just looking to hike it away on the onside. And of course, he's not known for his batting, Crony. He's in the team as a bowler. But one expects the discipline to be of a higher quality. I haven't seen Ronick Cole. I thought we'd seen maybe Ronick before these guys. But
Yeah, bad shot by Taylor, as you said, not known for his batting, but just a little bit of discipline, and he looked he swing again at that delivery. It wasn't swingable on a good line, good length, and he missed it and was bowled.
so he brings Williams out, and he'll accompany Barry, who is on 10, 58 for 8, and just really this guy's going to not listening to us at all, maybe. Yeah, hoping that they would probably give us something that would challenge to a certain extent, probably not push St. Patrick, but at least, one could at least see a decent chase.
Well, it only says to us, Justin, that we have a lot more work to do. Certainly what we have seen. Yeah, definitely is a lot more work that need to be done.
There's a similar delivery which is coming back into the right hander. Charles bowling from very wide of the crease and slanting that ball into the right hander. And for once, Taylor didn't quite cater for that, probably that angle, that movement back into the right hander. Yeah, as he bowls to Williams. Wayne Williams is pushing it up on the offside and there is no run. So it's 58 for 8 still. Barry's not out 10. Williams not yet scored.
Charles just bowled off of a few steps, just a little medium pace. I think this is probably his first bowling stint at the tournament.
Very pedestrian stuff here. The batsman just, and Charles showing off his footballing skills. Maybe a little bored out there. Probably just showing too that he has some footballing prowess. But this brought up the end of Charles over, the end of it 58 for it. 10 it is to Barry. Williams is not yet scored. And St. John still tottering there.
And Kieran Charles had 1 match before, and he bowled 4 overs, no wicket for 19 runs. So he would want to add to that column of wickets. St. John's, 58 for 4. We had 17 overs completed. 10 to Oscar Barry. Wayne Williams knotted off the mark.
Barry has Dennis George again to contend with. The leading wicket taker in the tournament so far. He's taken all of 13 wickets so far. He will be continuing to bowl to Barry. Still with chill outside, no sunshine. Cloud is totally obscured. The sun is totally obscured, and a quick single being taken there, and probably just getting there in the end. Yes, so pushing Barry there. Late decision, Crony, in the end to go for the single. Single which was probably should have been far easier than that.
Yeah, but good running by Williams there. I think he was quick off the mark because a good show came in there, and he just seemed to have got in there just before that show came in.
It would be interesting to see the approach of Williams against George. And so it's 8 down for 59. So counting it by tens, and I think incrementally going to build an innings. And he's lifting it in the air and just past the right hand of the fielder at mid wicket. So at mid wicket and another single. That was hard. So we just beaten in the flight. It's another single, but the total goes up to goes up to 60. He brings Barry, who is on 11, back. So driving down and towards mid off. The long off comes off the boundary to do the fielding. There's another single, so there's rotation in the strike. So that is welcome. I need to do that for another 2 overs or so, 2.3 overs. Turn away on the outside, a quick single. He has to hurry, and the return comes in again on the striking the batsman. I don't think there's any obstruction on that occasion. The batsman looking to make his way to the crease. And see no clear change of line. Yeah, in the running of the batsman. I think that's the important thing. That's the thing about it in terms of the obstruction, whether the batsman may have deliberately gotten into the way of the thrower.
Yeah, really is the intent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Barry looking to go down on the knee and smash it through the extra cover region.
It was a good feeling by mid-wicket. Deon Hippolyte came in really quickly and had a good show in. But Barry was quickly off the map.
Yeah. Again, a delivery which is paid up on the onside. And there's no run. So they end up a quiet over by Dennis George. And I think he would have probably 8 wicket down for the win, and George haven't had one by his name. I think this is not always the norm.
Yeah, but he has bowled he's completed a spell of 4 overs. No maidens and 9 runs, no wickets. So he has kept things rather tightly. Not bowling much loose deliveries.
Just ideally, probably one could have seen something else in the wickets column.
Yeah, I think each bowler would love to know that there's always something to put in that column, the exception of a 0.
So Charles will continue. He'll be bowling to Williams, but ungainly outside the off stump. It was not a cut, it was not a drive, it was not a pull. Just having a dab at it outside the off stump. And there is no run. He settles again and waits for Charles. Williams is on 2. And again, delivery maybe just if anything coming in or shipping away a bit from the right-hander crew.
Yeah, that's one moved away from the right-handed batter again. We saw that Williams there, really no man's land, not knowing whether to defend and whether to push it down to third man or push it square on the cover.
This time again, rather awkwardly, pushing it up on the offside. What advice do you give to a number 10 batsman who really doesn't possess the skill to keep
my only advice to him would be to play his game. I can't ask him to do anything different.
And he did attempt to do that, attempt to pull it away on the onset. There is a misfield, and no, says Barry at the turn at the far end. So 63 for 8.
Yeah, very interesting question you asked, Justin. I mean, I think the best you could get out of any player is to play the normal game. You know, if you are an attacking player, this is the kind of player is what you are best at, and probably you won't get the best out of him playing his game.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, too many times we tend to ask our players to do something different or play a different role. They're not being used to that. More than likely, you never get the sort of result you expect.
And the ability doesn't allow them to most of the time, despite a beautiful shot by Ascabari again. He's been severe on the short ones outside the off stump most of the time. That's the second really magnificent shot we've seen from him in this one on both ends of the ground.
Yeah, good shot. Shot outside the off stump, and he gave it a full treatment. Hit it forward a square, forward a point, and that went down to the boundary for 4. Good shot. As we look at it here, he's back and give it a full swing of the bat, and it raced across the turf. The turf, and he picked up another boundary.
Right, so he's gone to 16, and Williams is on 3. 67 for 8. So they may pass 70. For sure, they would get past the 70 mark.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
over number 19.
19 overs completed.
So one expect they should go past 70.
Yeah, and one expect that they should bat out the 20 overs also.
Most
which
likely
is
they should. I don't want to say they would, but most likely they should.
So we are about to see the last over. It will be bowled by Darren Hippolyte, captain of the St. Patrick's team. And Athens, sorry. Short third man, backward point, cover, long off, cover on the boundary.
And that is out. LBW going for a big swinger delivery, which is almost bam on middle stump. And Williams could not resist the temptation. Swung lustily at it. And here is the strange thing about it. You've seen Ronick Holder coming out at number what? Number 11? Number 11?
10.
Number 10. So it's 9 down. Yes. 67 for 9.
Yeah, and yeah, I think Williams is looking to pick that gap between the long one and the deep mid wicket. Quite a big area, vacant area there. Hitting across that delivery, missed it. And there was no hesitation. Umpire Manwaring, who upheld the decision. So St. John's has lost the 9th wicket. And we still thinking that they will bat out the 20 overs, Justin.
Well, as I said, we hoped they would. I wasn't willing at 8 wicket down to say they should. Yeah, but Ronick is probably a far more decent batsman than what we've seen previously. Those who have come and gone and wide. So that will just add to it as it goes up. They go up to 68. So the target here is 70. Here is Athens again to bowl to Ronick. Ronick gets a short delivery outside the offside. Looking to crash it through the offside, and it doesn't make contact. The keeper takes. There's no run, so extra is only 2. And Tittle fine, they're gone for 1. Will they come back for the second? Yes, I think they're going for it. It will be close. What does it now? I think he's in comfortably. One could even see from here that he was comfortably back. So 2 more runs and the 70 has come up.
Yeah, good running by Holder there. As he just looked to play this one down leg side. Just probably come off the bottom edge and pass the keeper, and he was able to pick up 2 runs. He's off the mark with 2. Barry is on 16. It's 70 for 9. We're in the 20th over.
And we're once again greeted by the lovely sunshine that has eluded us for most of the day, and that played uppishly into the offside. They gone for 1. Will they come back for the second? No, says Barry. Probably they could have gone for it on this occasion. They really didn't run the first one too quickly at all.
Yeah, they run the first one, run it slowly. At Hola, they're looking to hit somewhere over mid-off. It went down, not timed properly. It went down to the fielder on the longer boundary, having to run in.
So Barry wait for Athens and edges, and it goes 1 bounce to Alexander behind point down in a short third man area, and the ball coming off the body, and they gets another single. So take the score on to 72, and it means that Holder will have the final delivery. Just 1 delivery to go in the St. John inning. So Athens will bowl to Holder. Go to these deliveries. Getting one outside the off man looking to pull away on the onside and not making contact, and that's the end of it. So at the end of it, 73 is what St. Patrick would require. St. John managing to make only 72. Blackett was stump Joseph Bowl Alexander for 1. Alvin Ramnott was LBW Bowl Athens for 1. Ron Morris Francis before that was caught Joseph Bowl Alexander for 7. Randy Morris was caught Charles Bowl Alexander for 3. Larry Elwater run out for 16. I think that was a crucial dismissal. Antoine, LBW Bowl, Alexander for 4. Isaiah Simon, Cotton Bowl, Charles for 13. Oscar Barry remained not out on 17. Jonathan Taylor was bowled by Charles for 2. Wayne Williams, LBW Bowl, Atenes for 3. And Ronnie Calder not out 3. So to give you the bowling figures, of course, Alexander, the pick of the bowlers, 4 overs, no maiden, 13 runs, 4 wicket. Alec Atenes, 4 overs, no maiden, 15 runs, 2 wickets. Dennis George, 4 overs, 9 runs, no wicket. Denroy Charles, 4 overs, 1 maiden, 13 runs, 1 wicket. Darren Hippolyte, 2 overs for 16 runs. And Karen Charles, 2 overs, 1 maiden, 5 runs, 1 wicket. So good reading for the bowlers, the batsmen not so good, and certainly one expects St. Patrick to knock this out rather easily.
Yeah, not a challenging score. So we expect that it shouldn't be more difficulty for St. Patrick's, and know that I said it shouldn't be more difficulty, as the probably 72 in 20 overs really should be very easy. But again, we saw that the batting of St. John's really failed them. Larry Edwards, who looked very good in his stay of 16, looked to be the heart of the batting. But again, as the sun comes out brightly, we're going to go down to Kerry Frank, who have with him Alexander, who was able to pick up 4 wickets in this St. John's inning.
We hear it, Iman Alexander. He's there for 4 for 13, my apologies, in 4 overs, helping restrict to St. John for 72. Iman must be pleased with your effort today.
Yeah, I'm pleased. My job is to bowl my 4 overs under 20 runs each game, and I've been doing it so far.
All right. In the tournament previously, into the match, 4 matches, 3 wickets. One game you picked up 4 wickets, more than double your total in the wickets total in the tournament to date.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. You know, I mean, I've been bowling all up in all those matches, and I haven't get wickets, but it's a good comeback. Hopefully, I can continue and finish on a high.
Yeah, as you said, you've been bowling on all the matches you've open bowl for St. Patrick's. You've done so in prior tournaments. How is it coming up? Sometimes the first ball in bowling there of the left arm spin. Do you relish those challenges?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a challenge bowling up in the power play, but I've been doing it for quite some time, you know, so I'm comfortable with the new ball.
All right. Normally in the tournament, we see low scores are being trouble, but St. Patrick's, do you see shouldn't be any problem chasing down that total?
This one should be easy for us. This one should be easy.
All right. Well, Iman, congratulations on your performance today, and all the best for the rest of the tournament.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right. So that was Iman Alexander, 4 for 13, helped to restrict St. John to just 72 of the 20.
This year in match number 14, St. John's versus St. Patrick's. St. John's winning in toss and batting. Scored 72 for 9 in the allotment of 20 overs, and St. Patrick's going to reply shortly to get 73 for victory. So until then, we hope that you can rejoin us in a few minutes from now.
The Nutmeg Princess is very special to me because I think it's the first Grenadian fairy tale, so to speak. Growing up as a young boy and stuff, we never really had positive images of fairy tales where we can see a black princess or a black prince and stuff. So I really wanted the world to know that there is a black princess and she comes from Grenada. I mean, there are other stories of black princesses, but this one is a special one because it's a spicy princess called the Nutmeg Princess. So she's a really beautiful black girl, and she lives in one of the most exquisite places in Grenada called the Grand Etang Lake. And it's a lake that has no bottom, right? And the only way you can see the princess, even if you're outside on the sailing on the sun and beautiful blue Caribbean Sea, the only way you can see the princess is if you have a good heart. You must have a good heart. And sometimes you think you have a good heart, but you might not have a good heart. So you might have to do little things to have a good heart. So to have a good heart, and then you will see her. And she will appear, and she's the most beautiful. She has diamonds in her hair, lots of braids, and sometimes she appears and she'll be singing a song. Sometimes it'll be a sad song, sometimes it'll be a happy song, depending on how you feel that day. If you're happy, you'll always get a happy song. So that's Nutmeg Princess.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money.
Super 6 is my number one.
With the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
I'm growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Holy natural spring water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy natural spring water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy natural spring water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
The Nutmeg Princess is very special to me because I think it's the first Grenadian fairy tale, so to speak. Growing up as a young boy and stuff, we never really had positive images of fairy tales where we can see a black princess or a black prince and stuff. So I really wanted the world to know that there is a black princess and she comes from Grenada. There are other stories of black princesses, but this one is a special one because it's a spicy princess called the Nutmeg Princess. So she's a really beautiful black girl, and she lives in one of the most exquisite places in Grenada called the Grand Etang Lake. And it's a lake that has no bottom, right? And the only way you can see the princess, even if you're outside on the sailing on the sun and beautiful blue Caribbean Sea, the only way you can see the princess is if you have a good heart. You must have a good heart. And sometimes you think you have a good heart, but you might not have a good heart. You might have to do little things to have a good heart. So to have a good heart, and then you will see her. And she will appear, and she's the most beautiful. She has diamonds in her hair, lots of braids, and sometimes she appears and she'll be singing a song. Sometimes it'll be a sad song, sometimes it'll be a happy song, depending on how you feel that day. If you're happy, you'll always get a happy song. So that's Nutmeg Princess.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money.
Super 6 is my number one.
With the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
I'm growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Holy natural spring water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy natural spring water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy natural spring water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
The Nutmeg Princess is very special to me because I think it's the first Grenadian fairy tale, so to speak. Growing up as a young boy and stuff, we never really had positive images of fairy tales where we can see a black princess or a black prince and stuff. So I really wanted the world to know that there is a black princess and she comes from Grenada. There are other stories of black princesses, but this one is a special one because it's a spicy princess called the Nutmeg Princess. So she's a really beautiful black girl, and she lives in one of the most exquisite places in Grenada. The Nutmeg Princess is very special to me because I think it's the first Grenadian fairy tale, so to speak. Growing up as a young boy and stuff, we never really had positive images of fairy tales where we can see a black princess or a black prince and stuff. So I really wanted the world to know that there is a black princess and she comes from Grenada. I mean, there are other stories of black princesses, but this one is a special one because it's a spicy princess called the Nutmeg Princess. So she's a really beautiful black girl, and she lives in one of the most exquisite places in Grenada called the Granitang Lake. And it's a lake that has no bottom, right? And the only way you can see the princess, even if you're outside on the sailing on the sun and beautiful blue Caribbean Sea, the only way you can see the princess is if you have a good heart. You must have a good heart. And sometimes you think you have a good heart, but you might not have a good heart. So you might have to do little things to have a good heart. So to have a good heart, and then you will see her. And she will appear, and she's the most beautiful. She has diamonds in her hair, lots of braids, and sometimes she appears and she'll be singing a song. Sometimes it'll be a sad song, sometimes it'll be a happy song, depending on how you feel that day. If you're happy, you'll always get a happy song. So that's Nutmeg Princess.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money,
Super 6 is my number one.
with the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
I'm growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Holy natural spring water is a water for every occasion on the field of sports, at your workplace. Just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy natural spring water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy natural spring water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
The Nutmeg Princess is very special to me because I think it's the first Grenadian fairy tale, so to speak. Growing up as a young boy and stuff, we never really had positive images of fairy tales where we can see a black princess or a black prince and stuff. So I really wanted the world to know that there is a black princess and she comes from Grenada. I mean, there are other stories of black princesses, but this one is a special one because it's a spicy princess called the Nutmeg Princess. So she's a really beautiful black girl, and she lives in one of the most exquisite places in Grenada called the Grand Etang Lake. And it's a lake that has no bottom, right? And the only way you can see the princess, even if you're outside on the sailing on the sun and beautiful blue Caribbean Sea, the only way you can see the princess is if you have a good heart. You must have a good heart. And sometimes you think you have a good heart, but you might not have a good heart. You might have to do little things to have a good heart. So to have a good heart, and then you will see her. And she will appear, and she's the most beautiful. She has diamonds in her hair, lots of braids, and sometimes she appears and she'll be singing a song. Sometimes it'll be a sad song, sometimes it'll be a happy song, depending on how you feel that day. If you're happy, you'll always get a happy song. So that's Nutmeg Princess.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money.
Super 6 is my number one.
With the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
I'm growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Holy natural spring water is a water for every occasion on the field of sports, at your workplace. Just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy natural spring water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy natural spring water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
the news that the condition is bright and sunny. We did have a bit of a shower. Not heavy rain, but steady drizzle. But we are happy that we're able to start back now. The sun is shining brightly. St. Patrick's is endeavoring to get 73 for victory. St. John's made 72 for 9 in 20 overs. And St. Patrick now would be chasing that 73 runs for victory in bright sunshine. The teams are all out, umpires in place, and we see opening the batting as the players are now getting into position. We expect that really it would be a challenge for St. John's just to hold St. John's, to hold St. Patrick's under 72. So we are all ready to go in bright sunshine. St. Patrick's chasing 73 for victory. As I welcome Pastor Stevens warm with me.
Should not be a big tall order for St. Patrick. 72, they're going after 73, and conditions are very good, so should have a very interesting finish here, climax to these two matches. So here's the first ball down the leg side, so immediately St. Patrick off the mark, wide signal by the umpire as Wayne Williams drifting down the leg side. Good opportunity here for the opening pair of Athenaeus and Benjamin. Benjamin, who looks a bit fitter today than the last couple of games that he played, as Williams comes in again. Down the leg side, there is an appeal for caught behind. The umpire says it's a wide. Interesting that he was looking to pull, and the umpire seemed to be a little bit belated, as if wasn't sure as to whether it was it was nicked on its way through or not.
Well, we have a look at it here.
Well. The umpire said not out. I don't think the St. John players might have been very happy about that. Athenaeus pulls, gets it to forward square. Don't think he really cued it very well. Had the right intention, that is to get on top of the ball. Didn't try to sky it, but got on top of it and pulled it, but he didn't get it from the middle of the bat.
Yeah, but very unsure. As you rightly said, the umpire was not sure whether to signal or whether to make a decision. It's really
just seemed to be caught in the middle of a rock and a hard stone, and decided to be sagacious, wise, and said not out. Usually when that's the situation, Raphael, you would tend to give the benefit to the batsman.
Yeah. But it certainly wasn't a decision where he was up front, very firm in terms of decision making there. Probably was thinking what direction he will go.
That's exactly what was apprehensive about giving it. Pushed out to mid wicket. So it's been a steady over so far. Still two more deliveries to be bowled in this over. It's just one of those decisions that you can't really tell, and the umpire cannot refer because the facility is not there, so you've got to trust his judgment. But he was really pressured in that decision.
Yeah, but it also didn't seem as though everybody went up with a big appeal.
Athenaeus. So Athenaeus he's had a few close shave in this over so far already. One big appeal for cut down the leg side, and then this one just hitting the pad, stifle appeal. Benjamin just came up to him and had a little word with him, and Athens was just suggesting that he was all right. Wayward delivery down the leg side, another wide in the over. So 3 wides, 3 extras already in this first over. You don't want to be shabby at all. You don't want to be spraying it all over the place. And that's what Williams is doing. Can't allow the atmosphere to let him get carried away. It's the first over. You want to be as disciplined as possible and put St. Patrick's on the back foot. Slower ball that was driven out to mid-off. So finally, no, they still got one more. Yes, one more delivery to come in the over. Just thought that Anthony should have put that one away. It was a slow delivery, but it was a full toss.
Yeah, he should have make better use of the delivery, but I guess a little bit unsettled.
Cuts well, fine shot behind point for 4. Well, he got on top of that one and he cut it, and it went very quickly across the turf. So he's opened his account. He's gone to 4. Just the one over, completed 7 without loss.
Yeah, good confident shot by Altenas. He was on top of it and he really smashed it down to backward point. He really raced across the turf for 4. But pretty indifferent over bowled by Williams there. He had 3 wides down the leg side, 2 short ball down the leg side, and peel went up, you know. Look pretty close from here, but we are not in a position to really tell. Very difficult. And I would dare say the umpire probably was also in the same vein, difficult to decide which way to go. And he certainly kept his hand down, but just signal a wide. So really interesting force over bowler by Williams.
Certainly was, but yielded healthy returns for St. Patrick's. 7 at the end of the first over. So Wavell Benjamin will be taking strike, and Ramnat will be bowling to him. If they could get a couple of early wickets, who knows, he might just put some cats among the pigeons. We were delivery outside the off stump. They go to for the single and they get it quite comfortably in the end. Well, even if he had left that delivery, it would have been called a wide. But he's a tall man, is Benjamin, and threw his bat at it, got a single. So Ramnat has picked up 3 wickets in the tournament so far at an average of 18. Would obviously want to get a wicket or 2 here in this match, which would increase his tally and probably help his average too. So Athens will be taking strike. Delivery that is given generous flight. They're very chirpy out there, the St. John's players.
Yeah, and good attacking field placement. He has 1 slip, cover, point, backward point, and made off fairly short.
Driven nicely through extra cover, runs here. It's not going to go all the way, I doubt. Going to be cut off just inside. The return comes back to the keeper's end and they get to it. Was pitched up drove it. There was an air of pleasantry. It rushed through extra cover. 3 players darting after the ball, and they got 2. Nice shot. Total now goes into double figures. It's now 10 without loss. Raps on the pad. There's an appeal for leg before. That was clearly pitching outside the leg stump. So we did have a couple of dubious decisions today in the first match, and a challenging one in the second one. Off the back foot. Gets the ball down to a short extra cover. Simon running across very quickly to his left. Pulls down to the deep mid-wicket boundary. Will get only a single, as there is a fielder deep. So that completes the over. Just 4 runs coming in this over. At the end of 2, it's 11 without loss.
Yeah, good start by St. Patrick's. No real danger. A couple short deliveries just pulled down to mid wicket. But Altana's looking very attacking. He's on 7. Benjamin on 1, and this 11 with a loss after 2 over. Just going back to some of the decisions, pretty interesting decisions. As you said before, 2 against St. Mark's, and we had 1 in this game. You know, it's a difficult job. The umpiring is a difficult job,
Sure
and
is.
you had to get it. You had to get it in one split of a second. You had to get it right. And more than often, you always tend to get it the right way. And sometimes, you know, we tend to think sometimes when they get it wrong, they probably are the worst. But from where we sit, we have the advantage of seeing it twice and maybe 3 times the replay.
Yeah.
So we can determine. But certainly those are decisions probably should have gone the other way.
Yes, that's what it looked like from our vantage point, and also having video facilities. If you down the leg side, there's the appeal for caught behind. Interesting again there, and that made height.
Well, they probably would have, probably would have brushed some part of his body. Let's see. Yeah, just seemed to have brushed it tight there.
Okay, on his way through.
Yeah, because certainly what you don't want to look for is the outstretched hands for a wide.
The umpire did not confirm a wide, so it obviously touched a part of his person. Looking to pull, doesn't cue it very well. Good diving stop there just in front of square of the umpire.
Well, good aggressive bowling by William. Just need to get his line and his length right. But I could see he really putting a lot into his bowling. And trying to extract as much pace that he can and get off the surface.
Yeah, if he could just pitched it up just a shade, because most of them have been on the shorter side. Not well held by the keeper, which would now suggest a leg by, so ball brushing the pad on its way to the keeper. So extras have now gone on to 4. It's interesting because I can't remember who the batsman was, but in the series, Bangladesh versus the West Indies, one of the West Indian players, I think, was given out leg before, and he did nick it. Snickometer suggested that it was nicked, but he didn't feel it. So even imagine the batsman, ball just glided down to third man and will get a single. So if the batsman doesn't feel a nick, it's interesting that the umpire is called to make a decision on one that is really, really very soft and hard to detect.
Yeah, the tendency also, I mean, is that you find batsmen now don't really walk, even though they think they touch it. They don't really walk. So I mean, you have to. This is why the play and the third umpire is so important, that you have to really see it. coming off the edge.
Slow ball. Arthanez was playing long before he got there. Ball cannon into the pad and dribbled behind square. On the next side, they did scamper a single.
Yeah, Williams, he just need to get his line right. Just train down the leg side. Most of his deliveries so far have been down the leg side. Even though it had been with quite a bit of pace, it was the line really has been off.
Maybe just trying to bowl too quickly. Might be guilty of that. Outside the arm stump, driven nicely. Through the extra cover area, 4 runs. Well, it was all arms in that one. Didn't necessarily get to the pitch of it in terms of his feet position. But he used his reach very well because he's a tall man. And he spanked it through extra cover. That's gone to the boundary for 4. So Arthanez is 7. Benjamin has gone to 6. Arthanez will be taking strike. 5 overs gone, 18 without loss.
Yeah.
Sorry, 3 overs gone, beg your pardon.
Yeah, the batsman gave him a lot of room there, and he really swung his bat and hit it well through extra cover, and it went down to the boundary for 4. So a good shot by Benjamin, which should give him a great deal of confidence. St. Patrick's trying to get to 73, 18 without loss, and we just had 3 overs bowled.
Yeah, they've gotten off to a good start. The required run rate is just 3.24, so that has nothing to do with the context of the game. They should not be suffering for lack of speed in terms of the chase. Down the track is Arthanez driving up to long off. We'll get a comfortable single. Ball pitched up by Ramnot, and he just leaned into it nicely. Little chip, little use of the feet, and hit it down to the long off. Brings Benjamin into strike now. Tall opening batsman. Short delivery that is tugged again down to long on. Single. Short delivery. One thought that he may have hit that through the offside, but used quite a lot of the bottom hand and tugged it from outside the off stump down to the long on position. Hit up to long on and would get a single. The ball ricocheting and then going to be cleaned up by the field at long off. So just a single.
Yeah, firmly struck delivery by Alterners, and the field at mid-on had some difficulty in stopping that delivery.
Is that down to the deep mid wicket position? They've gone for 1. They're going to come back for the second. The return comes in. He's got to hurry, and just managed to get there. Is Benjamin striding home, just pushing, maybe turning up a gear or 2, and got 2 runs.
So that takes the score on to 23 without loss. Benjamin score goes on to 9. Alternus is also on 9. Well, we have just seen the first wicket fell, and we're going to look back, see what happens here.
Cotton Bowl. It was such an innocuous decision. It was, it really was soft dismissal. Full toss. Let's look at it again. Full toss. Hit right back to the bowler. He accepted gleefully. It was easy dismissal.
Yeah, soft dismissal. That's what we call a really soft dismissal. Full toss, and Benjamin hit it straight back to Ramnath, who accepted the catch. St. Patrick's lost their first wicket, 23 for 1. As we see
Devani
Joseph, wicket keeper, under 19 player, under 15 player, is one of the players that went to England with a West Indies squad.
How old is he now, Rifel?
And I think that he's still at under 19. I think he's over 15, probably might be about 17 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably might just be about 17 now.
Yeah, he's got good maturity for a 17-year-old. Pushes it out to extra cover his first delivery. Stylish player. Got good glove work too.
Yeah, technically looks well. You know, have not been in the runs, you know, but always look good technical left-handed batsman.
Sometimes you wonder whether some of these players don't prefer the longer version based upon their cricketing character. Some batsmen, they just love to know they have a lot of time at the crease where they can build an innings rather than having to come out and dash.
Yeah, and you're right. He has come up playing the longer version of the game, you know, either the 50 overs or mainly the 50 overs. So he will know what it is to bat long, take his time and bat. So far he has played 4 games, batted 2 innings and only scored 18 runs.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that.
That have been the hallmark really of the St. Patrick's batting. I think it's only last game they would have come on in that the top half of the batting have not been doing well.
Well, here's Oscar Barry from the southern or River Road end. And he'll be bowling to Athenaeus, who's on 9. Delivery that pushes him slightly onto the back foot and pokes the ball just behind square on the offside. So they've dislodged one batsman already. If they could sneak in and maybe dislodge a couple others, they will find or sort of fancy themselves a little bit back into the game. Not certainly wouldn't be done with that. Tug down to the deep mid-wicket area. The return comes in. They get 2 quite comfortably.
Another short delivery. That is pull down to mid-wicket. Interestingly, we have not seen 2 of probably the main bowlers on the St. John's team bowlers yet. We are now into the 5th over. We haven't seen Jonathan Taylor. That's opening fast bowler, and Larry Edwards.
Down the leg side, swept down to fine leg, 4 runs. Once it beat the fielder just outside the circle, you knew that he would have very, very low chances of running after it and cutting it off, and the ball rushed to the boundary for 4. Nicely swept there by Athenaeus. He's gone to 15. Ball sinking outside the leg stump. It was a badly lined delivery.
Yeah, badly lined down the leg side, and all he had to do was swing and just get some bat on it, and it went fine off the fielder. That short fine leg position went, and it went down to the boundary for 4.
Athenaeus just coming down the track and looking to sweep that.
Yeah, I think he missed out on another one. It was down the leg side, and he really missed out on trying to sweep this one down to that vacant position, which is now there's no backward square leg, and that short fine leg position should be a little finer. Just come a little finer.
Advances down the track is Athenaeus. You can see him urging himself to come down the pitch, and Barry saw him coming. Maybe just slowed it up a little bit, pulled back the length, and could only push it behind square on the offside. Pulled down to deep mid wicket. gets a comfortable single. So I thought he's looked pretty good for his 15 runs so far. Over comes to an end. 5 overs gone. It's 30 for 1. They're scoring at exactly 6 runs per over.
Yeah, well in front of what is expected. Altona's on 16 and Devani Joseph not yet off the mark, but Altona's look very comfortable. He got a number of short deliveries. He was able to pull down to that mid-wicket wide. Certainly he looks in good nick, and he will want to stay there to go right up to that total of 73.
Good opportunity for him to get good batting practice, and being a first-class player, I always think that when you're playing at this level, the really good players and those who are more experienced, they should dominate.
Yeah, and it's something we have been speaking about. These players really coming into this tournament should really dominate, should really make the difference. And we have seen in previous game, Commander Lewis and others not really doing what is expected, and he would want to settle down and play that sort of mature inning as he pushes that ball down to deep mid wicket and ambles another single.
Yeah, that was a nice crisp drive right up the toes. Used his wrist very well, didn't try to overhit the ball, kept it all along the carpet. Thought about the misfield, thought about the run for the misfield. The old-fashioned coaches tell you that you don't run on a misfield. I don't know how it's always wise to say that categorically. I think there's some times when you can, but I think the intent is telling you got to be careful, not because it's misfielded that it automatically means that you're entitled to a single.
Well, maybe they should change the word and don't say don't run off a misfield, but be cautious. Maybe you just have to think twice.
That's
because
correct.
You could misfield and based on where the ball ends up, there's every opportunity for you not only to run one, but more than one.
Yeah, that's correct. It has always been sort of baffling, even as a young player, when you were told, and there was no real explanation. Don't run on a misfield.
Yeah.
Now you know what the intent really was, but you can run, and you should look for opportunities to run on a misfield. Nicely flighted delivery there by Ramnath. Batsman coming forward, Joseph. Ball took the inside portion of the bat and went out just to forward square. So Ramnath just keeping things as tight as possible. His over comes to an end, and he has bowled 3 overs for 12 runs, has picked up the lone wicket to fall, and after 6 overs is 33 for 1.
Yeah, St. Patrick's doing very well in no hurry, in really no bother. Both batsmen just looking to push it around. We seen Devana Joseph. He just getting off the mark, and Altonas continue to play well, look for the bad deliveries, and just continue to be in control of things out there. As we see a beautiful picture of the stadium, given the opportunity to see the football building, and certainly really the picturesque venue.
Absolutely.
National Stadium.
There is something that would appeal to your vision,
Yeah.
whether you're looking north, south, east, or west.
Yeah. We've also just seen that seem to be the national squad is in training, football squad in training.
They should be going out shortly.
Oh, they have a big game on the 30th here. I think they will be playing El Salvador.
It'll be played here.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were going out.
I think we'll be here. I think it will be here. Yeah. On the 30th.
Yeah, that should generate some interest. Turn down to fine leg, It probably won't go all the way. Will be pulled back just inside. They will come back for the second run. Ball was slanting down the leg side. Got inside the line is Athanasis, and with a nice touch, just turned the wrist on it and steered, just guided it down to fine leg. Got 2 runs. Didn't look to sweep. There are 2 ways you can do that. Is either you bend the knees and you sweep, or you stand up straight and turn the wrist on it. Decided to do the latter. So Barry into his second over. None for 9 so far.
Yeah, better line by Barry. This one is straight and this is where you want to bowl. Not be straying down the leg side as he did in previous delivery.
Down the track comes Athanasis, pushes the ball to long on rather. Single in the making. So he's gone on to 21. He's batted very well, rather sensibly for his 21 runs. Hasn't rushed anything, but has just kept it rather simple. There's nothing venomous out there at all. Easy going. And the batsmen would just want to be selective, pick the right balls to be aggressive with. Outside of that, they can do what they're doing, and that is milking the singles and getting the 2s. And the out boundaries will come. Devani Joseph looks a good player, Ray felt.
Yes, he plays better against the faster stuff. Looking at him at the under 19 level, he really showed tremendous ability, and he was just around 15, and he was playing at the under 19 tournament. Went on to play for the Windwards. And in the West Indies tournament, was selected to represent the West Indies squad to tour England.
Yes, it's still very much a learning time for him. Over comes to an end. Good containing over there by Barry. He's completed 2 overs for 10 runs, and 7 overs gone. It's 36 for 1.
Yeah, St Andrews, St Patrick's continue to be very positive. I think they comfortably placed at after 7 overs, 36 for 1. Both batsmen seem to be in control and just playing each ball on its merit. As we see, it seems to be Antoine they're going to pick up the bowling from this northern end, and still we haven't seen the bowling of Jonathan Taylor or even Larry Edwards, who are, in my view, are crucial if they're going to make any inroads or just having to cause St. Patrick's to dig deep.
Yeah, when you got such a low total, it's always very difficult. There's an appeal for leg before, not out, says the umpire.
Well, actually, it's Ramnath that's concluding his spell. He's in the 4th over. And a loud appeal there. Let's see. He seems to pitch just outside the leg stump. Yeah, it just seemed to pitch just outside the leg stump. Hit in front, but if you pitch outside the leg stump, I think this is what the umpire probably would have been thinking.
Pulls down to the deep backward square area. That's 4 runs. Well, it got the treatment it deserves. Ramnath not very happy at that at all. He pulled back the length. Onto the back foot went Athanasis, and he pulled it nicely to backward square, and it went very quickly across the tower. 4 runs. It's gone to 25. It's now 40 for 1.
Yeah, good shot by Altonas. Shortish in length, and that area which is vacant, he really pulled it down to the boundary. A bit of disappointment on the face of Ramnath, as his delivery stroked down to long off, and he ambles his 26th run. It's 41 for 1, and over number 8. St. Patrick's going ahead with his job, doing it very well.
pushed up to long off. Gets another single. This time it was Joseph. So he's just gone on to 2. It's a quiet afternoon here. I think there is an air of confidence in the camp of St. Patrick with 42 for 1. Good reply.
Yeah, they will feel confident. They just need 31 more runs and quite a bit of overs. We have 12 overs after this, so really in control, and none of the batsmen are in any problem. As Ramnath is going to make a little adjustment, move in the mid off, and he probably will send him back to long off. So there's a long off, there's a long on. There's a cover on the boundary, and there's mid wicket outside the circle. Hit down to mid wicket. Let's see, a really good effort, and that goes into the boundary for 4. Good effort by the fielder there, as that ball was chucked down to mid wicket, and he got both hands hit.
Well, disappointed that he didn't turn it into a catch. Let's look at it. Had to make some coverage. Made a really gallant effort, and the ball just going over the boundary line. But he did try.
Yeah, very good effort. I think he had to jump. I think he probably misjudged a bit. He was coming in, and he really had to jump there. He got both hands, but really was in a good position to take it, and it just rolled back to the boundary for 4. So another chance goes a big in. Alternance, he's on 30. So at the end of 8 overs, St. Patrick's are 46 for 1.
Just some adjustments to the field. The mid-off fielder is pushed down to almost a deep extra cover, and the deep mid wicket is pulled inside the circle. Oh, deep backward square rather. Bowlers down the leg side. That's missed by the keeper. They're going to come back for the second run. They do that quite comfortably. And they get 2.
It's too wide, but it just seems as though it was a stumping chance also, as Joseph went to flick and miss it, and it was missed by the keeper, and picked up 2 wides.
There's a wrapped him on the pad. There's an appeal for leg before not out, says the umpire. Oh, did he? What was the dismissal? We got it. So he did put up the finger, did he?
Well, we see.
Well, it almost looked like a soft dismissal. Now let's look at it. Wraps him on the pad. The appeal went up. And then the umpire finally put his hands up. That's very strange dismissal, isn't it?
Yeah, very strange dismissal. It never looked confident. I mean, there wasn't really. I think probably just the bowler did appeal, and the umpire in his position felt it was hitting and made the decision.
But it's amazing that the decision was so belated. Well, let's look at it again. We're getting a second replay here. Here it is. Wraps him on the pad. The appeal went up by the bowler and the keeper. The umpire said nothing. Well, unless he said that's out. Then began to walk away, and that's when the fatal finger went up while the batsman was on the way to the pavilion.
Yeah, and you certainly doesn't want to see that as an umpire. No, you have to be in charge. You have to take charge, and if you're going to make a decision, you have to be firm and making a decision, even though it's not a right one. But you have to be firm And really, it didn't seem that way there. It just seems as though when the batsman began to walk, then the umpire actually put his hand out, unless he nodded.
Unless he nodded, or unless he said that's out. But really, the correct thing is that you've got to put the finger up.
Yeah.
So that's not very good, astute umpiring at all.
Yeah, well, I was just told that he did not. But again, you have to put your fingers up pretty early. You know, I think it's only when his back was turned, it seems as though the fingers went up.
Dennis Smith has come in, replacing Joseph. And he comes forward and turns it out to a shot mid-wicket. Now, yes, you may nod, and the player out there may see you nod, or you may say that's out, and the player would see that. But you've got commentators, you've got spectators. They want to see the finger raised to confirm, and in fact, that's the mode of dismissal. If you look at the laws of the game, it will tell you that the umpire will have to raise the finger to confirm a dismissal. Delivery that is struck through the offside and went through the extra cover boundary for 4.
Yeah, good shot by Smith. He came forward and really stroked it beautifully through an extra cover. And just watch it as it went, as it beat the extra cover field and went down to the boundary for 4. Good shot, good confidence start.
50 coming up. It's now 53 for 2.
And just to go back to that decision, I think the whole question of nodding is nowhere in the picture in terms of cricket. You have to make a decision. You have to put the finger up.
Got to do it. It's interesting looking to drive that ball. The ball took beyond the edge, and Smith was so alert to make sure that it didn't go back onto the stump that he quickly went after it and put the foot out to make sure that he covered it. Well, that was very wise. I don't think it would have gone back onto the stumps, but he certainly was in the right frame of mind to do the right thing. Guard his wicket. Oh, this is going to go behind the keeper into the boundary for 4. We'll wait to see what the umpire confirms. Buys. 4 buys. Maybe I think the keeper came up too quickly too. Cardinal error.
Yeah. Bad judgment by the keeper, as we see.
Now let's see, Raphael. Is he coming up too quickly? Not necessarily, but feet opened and the ball sneaked through.
Yeah, kept a bit on the low side, but was right up, so it will keep low if it's right up, not gonna bounce.
Turned out easily by Smith. Out on the leg side. Gets a single. The over comes to an end. So Barry, 3 overs, no misses, 1 for 18. 58 for 2 is the latest score.
Yeah, comfortable position by St. Patrick's. They need just 15 to win. Having bowled St. John's is 72 for 9 in the allotment of 20 overs. After 12 overs, St. Patrick's replying strongly with 58 for 2. With Alternas on 30 and Dennis Smith, who just came in, is on 5.
Well, 2 experienced players out there, both having enjoyed first-class cricket. They have an opportunity to show seniority and some measure of class and bring home St. Patrick comfortably, I would think.
Yeah, both players involved in the regional first-class level. We had the Super 50 and we also had the 4-day tournament, so they would have some experience. They would know what it is even at this level, this 2020 games. We would expect that they would dominate and show their maturity, and with just 15 runs to go, one expect that these two players are going to bring it home.
Antoine will be bowling.
But pretty strange, we haven't seen Edwards, who is basically the trump card. We haven't seen Jonathan Taylor. And these are 2 of the main bowlers you would expect to see really up front very early. We see Taylor not long off, and maybe probably wondering what is the strategy.
unless he's probably saying, well, he doesn't seem to have any niggling injury. Yes, he came in to pick the ball up. Look, to me, fine. Doesn't seem to be anything untoward in regards to his body. Field changing over to accommodate the left-handed Athanase, who is 30. He's batted well. No hustle, really. Just played practically everything on its merit. It's just been a simplified knock. Bat delivery, pulled down to the deep backward square, 4 runs. And we'll have to see if the umpire, yes, in fact, has also signaled a no ball. Over the waist. And it's going to be a free hit. We didn't have a free hit today, did we? It's going to be the first one, did we?
No, I think we had one in the first game.
In the first game.
But yeah, bad delivery by Antoine. Yes, again we see Antoine coming into bowl now. He really not one of the strike bowler really. But it's interesting you haven't seen your main bowlers bowl in this inning as yet.
Interesting that. Must be some reason for it, obviously. Wayward delivery that's gonna go down into the boundary. The bowler is screaming. So that'll be 4 byes. Oh, it should be 4.
Yeah.
Wide, right?
It's Tristan is not signal wide.
Yeah, I thought it would have been. Maybe he was going to switch hit. Well,
it's 68 for 2, and we are in the 10th over. Antoine bowling his first over. First delivery went for 4.
Down the track, hits that through the extra cover area, and will be picked up just to the right of the wideish long off fielder. Just a single though. Maybe disappointed with that. Should have probably hit it a little bit wider, intersecting, going between the 2 fielders.
Yeah, just had to place it. It's another bad delivery, a full toss, and I was just hit it down to the fielder on the wide long of boundary. Maybe probably could have hit it a bit squarer.
Shot outside the off stump, cut behind square. So total 69. There's little question as to which team is gonna win this game.
Yeah, have been convincing performance by St. Patrick's.
Short delivery that is pulled down behind square on the leg side. They will come back for the second quite comfortably. The return comes into the keeper's end. They get 2. So it now moves into the 70s, 71.
Really, Dennis Smith would be disappointed that he didn't make full use of that short delivery. He went to pull. Just pull it just past the backward square, not getting hold of it. And he picked up 2 runs. Take his score on the 6, on the 8.
Dabs down to the 3rd man area. Will they come back for the second? Yes, they are coming back. The return comes in to the keeper's end, and they get 2. So that should complete the match here. And so 73 for 2. That completes a well-earned victory here for St. Patrick's. They lost only 2 wickets in the process. Athanase not out 35. Dennis Smith not out 10. And well, Barry had 1 for 18. It was a simple, easy task here for St. Patrick Raphael, as St. John's obviously did not post the kind of total that they would have liked. Just a paltry total, overhauled quite easily by St. Patrick.
Yeah, we always felt that the score of 72 would not be challenging, at St. Patrick's, who qualified already. We always felt that it would not have been competitive, and I think St. Patrick's would have really did well in terms of chasing it very well and comfortably getting past that for the loss of just 2 wickets at 73 for 2. A good all-round performance by St. Patrick. They bowl well. Again, we see that the batting of St. John's continue to struggle. And maybe when we look at the tournament, the area that have been, to me, troubling in terms of what we are seeing is the batting. I think most of the teams have not batted well. We look at St. John's, we look at St. Mark's, we look at St. David's, who would have won the last 3 senior tournaments. St. David struggled with their batting. St. Andrews also have been struggling with the batting. So we have not seen the batsmen really coming forward. And again, we have seen it today in both matches today. And St. Patrick's are completing a very easy victory.
Yeah, so they've won in, exactly 10 overs. So they had still 10 overs to go, which is really huge margin in 2020 cricket. So they've won by 8 wickets, 73 for 2. Arthur Nayes not out 35 at the end, and Dennis Smith not out 10. Benjamin was caught on bowl of the Ramnath. He went for 9, 6 balls he faced, 1-4 in the process. Arthur Nayes, as I said earlier on, not out. Almost a runner ball innings, 35 of 36 deliveries, and struck 5 fours. Dennis Smith not out 10. Williams none for 12 of 2 overs. Alvin Ramnath 1 for 22 of 4. Oski Barry 1 for 18 of 3, and Antoine Bull just a 1 over for 11 runs.
So we just to see one more game in this preliminary rounds. All the teams have played. 4 teams have played 5 games. Now tomorrow, St. David's plays St. George's in the fifth round game. And at the end of this game, so far, St. George's have done pretty well. They have played unbeaten in 4. Where St. David's playing 4 games, lost 1. St. Andrews completed their 5 games. They would end up with 12 points, and St. Patrick's also would have also completed and ended up on 12 points. So tomorrow's games,
it should prove to be interesting one, that, and I think Andrew Fletcher should be playing tomorrow too, shouldn't he?
Yeah, we expect Andrew Fletcher to be playing for St. David's. Also, Roland Cato also should be part of that squad. So tomorrow, at the end of tomorrow's game, will determine who is 1, who is 2, who is 3, who is 4. So I think only then we will know what the semi-final lineup would look like, how it will be lined up. But the top teams, top 4 parishes will go through to the semi-final. And again, St. Patrick's, who didn't start the tournament too well, but I think would have ended strongly. They defeated St. Mark's last weekend, and they come and defeat St. John's. St. John's really had a tough run of it. But as I was saying before, I think it's important to note that they would have made an effort to compete and to play all the games. We have seen some players from the St. John's team that really is showing a lot of interest. Players we think that would go forward to maybe improve cricket in St. John. This is a hope that is going to happen. It's a positive sign to see that they start and completed the tournament. But all in all, I think when we look at the tournament so far, I think the parishes have shown commitment in terms of the games turning up, and one would hope that we would move forward from strength to strength from where we are now.
Yes, and it augurs good for cricket. Let's see if we can go to Kerry Frank. We're going to go there for the post match ceremony.
Welcome to the post-match ceremony for game number 14 in the NLA GPL T20. Quite comprehensive victory for St. Patrick against St. John. We start with the player of the match, and in being a match with low scores, the player of the match for his 4 for 13 of 4 overs, Iman Alexander. He'll receive his award from Andy Noel. We're going to have a word with Imi. Imi, certainly left your best performance with the ball for the final group match.
Yeah, I knew I had to come up. I have to come big every game. It's good to get 4 wickets under my belt. I've been struggling in terms of wicket, but been bowling good throughout the tournament, so it's good to get the man of the match award.
Iman Alexander, he's been around the cricket for a period of time. Every new tournaments like these, how do you get ready, and is the adrenaline there like maybe 15 years ago when you're playing under 19?
Yeah, it's the same. And I'm still in good health and good strength, and cricket didn't leave me easy. All when I hold on, girl, keep doing it.
All right, you guys now advance to the semi-final stage of the tournament. Wait to see who you play in the semi-finals. 2 matches away from what could be a title for St. Patrick's. Looking forward to those next matches ahead.
Yeah, we just had to come out and play hard cricket and give ourselves a chance to win the final.
All right, well, Iman, all the best today. Congratulations on today's performance, and all the best to the rest of the tournament.
All right, thanks.
All right, now going to have a captain for today's game, Anthony Antoine of the St. John. Tony, another day and another bad performance with the bat from St. John.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, we know how the cricketers play. We know if we haven't been preparing properly, we can't expect too much of a results. But however, the positive things of the game today, we want to take it forward. I mean, there's a 50 over coming up. I think we have a lot of work to do. We definitely know our mistakes, so we're not going to say much today.
All right, in terms of you see that you guys shot in a few areas, especially with the batting. Areas of concern, any plans of strengthening those areas as you go forward?
Yeah, well, definitely. There's some players that we all need to step up, but definitely we're going to look at a few players who have been training but not have been coming to the games. We don't know for whatever reason, but I think definitely we know our mistakes, and that's the main point. And definitely we know cricket cannot play if you're not practicing.
Well, Anthony, to wish St. John all the best as they move forward and develop as a cricketing unit.
Definitely we're going to come back with our strengths. So basically, I want to say wish all the teams in the top 4 all the best for the competition, and we know how that would be. We're going to be here to support still. Thank the sponsors for having us, the organizers, and we want to say all the best to everybody.
Tony, thanks for guys gracing us, and all the best. We're not going to have a word with Darren Hippolyte. Darren, quite easy day at the office today for the St. Patrick's lads.
Yeah, it's a quite a very easy day. I think the guys did well today. They had the basics and we covered everything today.
All right, with the ball, you guys seem to have been on control from quite earlier on. It's been a heavily spin-dominated attack today, certainly showing the variety that is available in St. Patrick.
Yeah, man, it's basically to see like our strength is in the spin bowling, the slow bowling department, and I think that's what helping us to win most of the matches. So we're gonna keep working on that and try to be victorious in all the games coming.
All right, you guys advanced to the semi-final stage of the tournament and played 5, won 3, lost 2. Any particular team you probably would be hoping for to face in semi-final starting next weekend?
Not really, no. We don't have no team in mind, So whatever team we get to face, we're happy with that. No team in mind of it.
All right, you guys out from the round robin stage to the knockout zone. How the guys locked in for that those matches ahead?
Yeah, of course. Guys know it's crunch time now. Once you lose, you're out. You can't lose a match and they expect to be and come back again. So once you lose, guys know it's a time to step up on the game. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
All right, so Darren, I want to say congratulations once more for your performance today, and all the best to the rest of the tournament.
Thanks.
All right, so that's it from the presentation ceremony. St. Patrick, they enjoy quite an easy victory, comprehensive in their manner against St. John. So that's it from the presentation.
Well, it was an absolute pleasure to bring the broadcast to everyone wherever you've listened to the broadcast. And St. Patrick's, beg your pardon, coming out on top. Quite easy victory by 8 wickets. And we'll be back on the air tomorrow, God's willing, to bring you another match. It was a pleasure bringing this for you. So until then, enjoy your night, enjoy your morning, evening, wherever you might have been listening to the broadcast across the world.
Nutmeg Princess is very special to me because I think it's the first Grenadian fairy tale, so to speak. Growing up as a young boy and stuff, we never really had positive images of fairy tales where we can see a black princess or a black prince and stuff. So I really wanted the world to know that there is a black princess and she comes from Grenada. There are other stories of black princesses, but this one is a special one because it's a spicy princess called the Nutmeg Princess. So she's a really beautiful black girl, and she lives in one of the most exquisite places in Grenada called the Grand Etang Lake. And it's a lake that has no bottom, right? And the only way you can see the princess, even if you're outside on the sailing on the sun and beautiful blue Caribbean Sea, the only way you can see the princess is if you have a good heart. You must have a good heart. And sometimes you think you have a good heart, but you might not have a good heart. So you might have to do little things to have a good heart. So to have a good heart, and then you will see her. And she will appear And she's the most beautiful. She has diamonds in her hair, lots of braids, and sometimes she appears and she'll be singing a song. Sometimes it'll be a sad song, sometimes it'll be a happy song, depending on how you feel that day. If you're happy, you'll always get a happy song. So that's Nutmeg Princess.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money.
To the jackpot galore. Play more, win more, have more fun. With more jackpot money.
Super 6 is my number one.
With the new and improved Super 6 game, the jackpot keep growing and growing.
I'm growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Holy natural spring water is a water for every occasion on the field of sports, at your workplace. Just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy natural spring water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy natural spring water, Grenada's purest bottled water.